All right, nice. But yeah, welcome to the live, everybody. It's great to be back. Welcome. You know what we're doing here this evening. Of course, you know what we're doing here this evening. We are talking to MAGA. You know, how does anybody support Donald Trump, you ask? I say, well, I don't have the answer to that question. I don't know. I don't think anybody knows except them. It's a secret that they withhold from us. I'm not sure what's going on in their heads, but I digress. Listen, if you are MAGA, first of all, make sure to keep double tapping the screen. It helps boost the live. Second of all, if you are MAGA and you want to come up and debate, come on up. Thank you, David, my man, for the congratulations. I appreciate it. Let's see here. You know, I'm just baffled. I'm just gotta see what's going on here. Sure, if you are requesting up, you are only MAGA. Venmo Cash up in the link in bio. I need you to go live earlier.
Hello.
You know, it's a whole thing. Hello, how old are you?
I am 18.
What year are you born?
2006.
Okay, why are you MAGA?
Because Kamala Harris said that all 18 to 24-year-olds are stupid.
Wait,
and
that's why you're MAGA?
Yeah.
Like that quote, which by the way has been taken out of context, is why you're voting for Trump?
Wait, can you explain to me how it was taken out of context, please?
Yeah, no, I can, but I just want to clarify that's what you're voting based off of. You're not voting based on policy or, you know, maybe Trump's felony convictions or anything like that. You're voting.
All right, wait. Can you tell me what Trump has been convicted of, please?
Yeah, he's found guilty of 34 felonies, falsifying business records in the first degree in New York.
All right, but when was that? What are your sources?
That was this year.
All right, can you tell me the sources?
You're lying, bro. You're lying, dude. You're lying. You're lying, right? Yeah.
No, I'm being serious. Tell me the sources.
No. This guy's fucking with us, ladies and gents. I was like, wait, bro. I was like, no. Has he actually been convicted? Come up, Destiny. Destiny says he hasn't been convicted yet. So I want to know what that's all about. Look at this guy in the chat says they were dismissed. What planet are you living on, buddy? Look at that guy right there. Oh, that's Ashley. What planet? I'm going to give Ashley an invite. I want to see Ashley come up and try to tell me how they've been dismissed. I want to know about that. I need to know about that. You're kidding me, man. You're kidding me. Anyway, listen, I invited those people, maybe they'll come up, maybe they won't. But if you are MAGA, let me know. Oh, which one is it? I invited two people. It doesn't. Oh, Ashley, you said that those charges have been dismissed, or the convictions have been what?
They wasn't dismissed. There wasn't a hearing that showed that the judge was saying that they were going to find him guilty before it actually was and was dismissed.
What?
You didn't hear about this? Or a jury?
What are you talking about?
There was I know I read it somewhere, but there was a juror that said that they were supposed to find Trump guilty. I'm not saying he's not guilty.
It wasn't actually a real person. It wasn't a real juror.
That wasn't. Okay, well, I don't keep up with the media. I'm voting for Trump, but why am I voting for Trump personally as a mother? I just feel like, number one, our borders are out of control, and I understand there's more than just Harris that controls that. I get that, but as a Christian, I stand on my Christian beliefs too, even though I believe everybody can love everybody. There's a lot of things that I agree with Kamala. There's a lot of things I disagree, Kamala, whatever. And there's a lot of things that I disagree with her. The same with Trump, but I feel out of the two, for me personally, Trump is just better.
But what? But why? Why
do I feel Trump is?
Yeah.
Okay, so I know everyone's talking about, well, especially on your page, that you say that nothing with inflation. They have nothing to do with inflation, right? It's just
that's right.
Everybody's dealing with it. But under Trump, we weren't under that inflation.
Because there wasn't a pandemic yet. For the majority of his presidency, he wasn't dealing with a pandemic.
Right, and I understand that. So the pandemic has made everything shoot up.
Right, exactly. If the pandemic, it can be a pandemic, it can be something else. But if there's a massive event that causes the American economy and global economies to shut down, there's going to be repercussions. There's going to be effects on the economy. Yes.
Okay. So what about the schools that my kid goes into? And the thing being passed about the school doesn't have to give me any information about my child.
What state are you living in?
I live in Ohio.
Well, I don't know what the law is in Ohio, but what I do know.
In Ohio, this is my thing. My daughter got called down to the office. My daughter's 4th grade at this point, and at one point, I guess they had a talk with her because she said that she was a lesbian. My daughter comes home, explained this to me. I called the school, asked why I was not informed, if they had an issue with my daughter, if they thought something, and they said they did not have to reach out to me and address anything with me. My daughter was 9 years old. They do need to address something with me. If they're calling my daughter in the office to talk to her about this, that stuff needs to be addressed.
You live in a Republican state, so like maybe you should take it up. If that's a law, I don't know what your law is in Ohio, but if that's the law in your state, maybe you shouldn't vote for the people you're voting for. But what I think you're referencing are some of these laws that are being passed around the United States, where it says that if a teacher learns that a child is gay, that they don't have to inform their parents, which I actually think is a good law. Because there are plenty of families out there where parents might be more conservative. Maybe they're less accepting. Maybe they even go so far as to kick that kid out of the house if they learn that maybe they were gay or lesbian, whatever it might be, right? So I think that's actually a good thing, and like allowing the child, whoever the person is, to make the decision to come out to the parents when they want to, not when the school deems that they should.
And I agree with you on that. But as a mother, if something is going on with my daughter and she's feeling confused or anything else, I have a safe home.
Confused?
Why? If she's feeling confused, listen.
Why would she be confused?
At 9 years old, you're not telling me that at 9 years old that she's questioning her sexuality if it's not being thrown in her face.
I think a lot of people might know which way they go when they're like 9 or 10 or 11.
You're right, but for her, she was telling me, "Mom, I'm confused because my friend's saying she's my friend's saying she's lesbian. Obviously, we knew for a long time she was. That's fine, but now my daughter is 10, and her whole thought is completely different because there was a point in time where this was. I don't know if it's for everybody in their schools, but this was like a cool thing to be. So all I'm saying is with my Christian and with my Christianity, everything, I don't know. I feel like Trump's the better one.
But first of all, Trump's not going to like do anything on that. Second of all, I don't even think I can respond to what you said about your daughter. I think I need like more specifics about the situation, even comment on it. But Trump's not going to do anything about that. So I don't think that's a reason to vote for Trump. I think that you should. Is your daughter part of the LGBTQ plus community?
She's not. She's actually not. She was just curious about it, and that's what I'm saying. The school didn't explain anything to her. But if they would have reached out to me, I could have explained it to her because I'm one of those parents that I'm like, listen, Izzy, if you're confused, that's nice. Ask me about it. But don't pretend to be something that you're not because it's disrespectful to the ones that are.
But how do you know she's not?
How do I? Because she's told me. We've had this conversation afterwards, and she's like, well, no, I have a boyfriend. So she didn't even quite understand what was going on until I explained it to her. And it started with a rumor that my daughter kissed another girl. That never even happened.
Wait. So you were making the point that your daughter couldn't know who she's attracted to at 9, right?
Yes.
But then you also acknowledge that she has a boyfriend?
No. What I was saying.
So isn't that an indication of who she might be attracted to?
She has a boyfriend, so why would she be attracted to a female? If she's attracted to a female, my daughter would tell me.
You can be both. You can be attracted to both.
You can be both. I've explained that to her too. But when the school had the issue with it and brought my daughter in and embarrassed her, why were they going to embarrass her but not get a hold of me to talk to me about it?
Well, I don't know why the school brought her in anyway to talk about that. I feel like that's not. Well, I don't know why they're talking to her about that. Okay, I don't know enough about your daughter. Obviously, I don't know anything about your daughter's life, so I can't comment on it.
Yeah, but as far as the way I stand, and also, here's another thing. My best friend, they own businesses, and those were under Biden administration. Those have sucked.
Yeah, because the pandemic. You're looking at it the wrong way. You're saying, because of Biden, their businesses suck. Under Trump, their businesses were rocking. Under Trump, there wasn't a pandemic. Under Biden, there was a pandemic. So what you should be thinking of it as not like a Trump versus Biden thing, but as a pre-pandemic, post-pandemic thing. It has nothing to do with Joe Biden that their businesses might be struggling.
So when do you think we're going to come out of this whole pandemic thing? Do you think Kamala and them will be able to pull us out?
Well, we have the best recovery among any economy in the world. We have the strongest economy right now. We have the best recovery among G7 countries. Inflation has fallen, gas prices have fallen, wages have gone up, GDP has gone up, unemployment's gone down. All these things are very good. So there's work to be done. The economy didn't just recover overnight and we're back to normal, but we're getting there. And the progress that we've made with Biden has not been seen all over the world. Other countries are struggling. We're thriving. So pretty good.
I don't know. I guess I'll just have to look into it more.
But I can assure you, Trump, he gets up on that stage. He tells you, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make the economy better. We have to start doing X, Y, and Z in America. We have to lower inflation. He has not put out a policy proposal on any of these things. He hasn't told us how he's going to do it. He says it, and then a reporter says, well, how are you going to do that? He doesn't know. Like, for example, I'll make this quick. At his press conference the other day at Mar-a-Lago, he's preached how he wants to have the largest deportation effort in American history, going all the way back to Truman, larger than Truman and Eisenhower. And then a reporter the other day asked him, like, how are you going to do that? And he wouldn't say. He wouldn't, talk how he's going to pay for it and how it's going to be done and where they're going to get the manpower to do it. He doesn't tell us how he's going to do it. So don't buy into the con man.
Okay, what about him saying that he knows nothing about Project 2025? He's seen it, but he's not a part of that.
Liar. 140 people from Trump's former administration work on Project 2025. Many of his senior advisors, like Peter Navarro, Mark Meadows, have worked closely or even written part of Project 2025. Those people are expected to make a return to a possible second Trump administration. And he also spoke to the Heritage Foundation as their keynote speaker in 2022 and praised their plan, praising the plan that would be in place for the next conservative president. He knows about it.
Do you believe that Harris and them, once if reelected back in, that they will do something about the borders to make them more safe? Like, yeah. not more safe, I guess. I guess not more safe. I guess my problem is I think everyone that wants to come to America should be allowed, but they should have to do it the legal way. Just same if I want to go to a country, I have to do it the illegal. I have to do it the legal way.
Well, you know what? Listen, and Kamala Harris agrees with you. Joe Biden agrees with you. Two things. Number one, Biden recently signed an executive order into law supported by VP Kamala Harris that has dramatically cut border crossings. Border crossings are now at the same level they were around like 2019 under Donald Trump. They're at their lowest level in like 3+ years. Number two, Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, Democrats, and Republicans in the Senate put forward a bipartisan border bill that both parties agreed on. They said, hey, we have to do something about the border. But then Donald Trump called up his buddies in Congress and told them to vote against it so Joe Biden wouldn't get a win on immigration in an election year. And then they did that. So Biden tried, he worked with Republicans on it, and they denied him. It's their fault.
Okay. Well, thank you. I guess I'll look more deeper into it. Sounds
good. Sounds good, Ashley. I appreciate it. You have a good rest of your night, all right?
You too.
Thanks, Ashley. Jeez Louise. Wow. Yo, Blaze, thank you for the $15 saying my favorite TikToker. Oh, you're too kind. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, man. That means a lot. Thank you, buddy. Thanks for being here as well. I appreciate it. Venmo Cash App in the link in bio. Shout out you, my man. So if you want to support, that's of course possible, but if not, it's entirely optional. But I invited some guy. I'll invite this guy as well if he wants to come up. Legend, I just invited you. George, thank you for the galaxy, my man. I appreciate you. Make sure to drop a follow if you haven't already. We do these lives all the time, and also keep double tapping the screen. It helps. Boost the live. Look at Haley in the chat. What do you say to people who say you're a plant? I say, scroll back to my videos that I was making when I was 17 years old in my basement. I've been doing this a long time. There's no planting here. But I'm flattered. Hello, are you MAGA? But he fell off the face of the earth. He's not here. He's not here. He just fell off the face of the earth. Denise, I feel like I've seen Denise before, and she always yaps in my chat. I'll bring up, or at least Nunya Business is talking trash in the chat. He has Trump as his profile picture. I feel like I just have to see what's going on there. Makes no sense, huh? Makes no sense why anybody would do that. Take that Trump out of your profile picture, but get it out of there. Anyway, let me know if you're in MAGA in the chat. I'll bring you up and we can talk. Yeah. Look at this guy, Patriot 2025. I just got to see what that's about. I invited you, buddy. You're welcome to come up, man. Traitor Trump for prison. Governor Tim Walz actually stopped people from chanting "lock him up" tonight and said, "Let's beat him at the ballot box." And I kind of agree with that. I think that's probably the better, like the right thing for us, the Democrats, to talk about at rallies. You know what I mean? We're not them, you know? What's up, man? Are you MAGA? But he left, dude. He just left. He's out of here, bro. What's up? What's up with MAGA running tonight? What's up with MAGA running tonight? MAGA is better? Are you kidding me, bro? Service internal error? What the hell does that mean? Let's invite this guy. Let's invite this guy. Oh, wait. I think I know who. Hello? Are you MAGA?
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 18, bro.
Nah, get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. Miss Transgender says she's MAGA. All right. Well, we'll give her a shot. We'll give her a shot. Hello?
Hi.
You muted yourself. How old are you?
I'm 24.
You're 24?
Yes.
All right. Why are you MAGA? Why do you keep muting yourself? What the hell's going on?
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm just. It's okay. I'm not. Oh, okay. All right. Sorry, man. I was like, that's kind of mean. I feel like I apologize. Probably was just like probably shouldn't have been mean. Judah, hello. Are you MAGA?
Oh yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 21.
All right. Why are you MAGA?
You know, I think that everything was a lot cheaper with Trump in office. I think a lot of the Democrats read off scripts, and I think they're all kind of liars.
What do you mean Democrats read off scripts? What kind of a criticism is that?
Okay, listen, I was literally watching TikTok probably 50 scrolls ago. Saw Kamala in Michigan and Kamala in Wisconsin, and she was saying the exact same words at her rally.
Yeah. That's because they have speeches that are pre-written, and the majority of the contents of the speech are different, but the central messages saying like, "Are you with me on this, on this, on this?" Like campaign slogans are of course going to be repeated at every rally because they're campaign slogans.
Well, can you explain why she changes her accent?
She doesn't change her accent. It's just that's how she speaks, man.
No. Watch the video. Well, I guess you can't really watch the video because, I mean, I can't really send it to you.
Listen, that's how she speaks. Can you explain to me why Donald Trump breaks the law? I feel like we have more important things here. You're making fun of the way she speaks. Maybe we should talk about the felonies. I don't know.
What laws has he broken?
Falsifying business records in the first degree, found guilty of 34 felonies.
Okay, is that deep?
Breaking the law, become a convicted felon? Yeah, it is that deep.
Okay. Also, one last question.
Oh, no.
Is Kamala Harris black or is she Indian?
Kamala. Say it for me. Kamala.
What?
You're mispronouncing her name. It's Kamala.
Kamala?
Comma, like a comma in a sentence. Yeah? Say comma. Say it.
Kalama?
Say comma.
Kalama?
Okay. First of all, you suck. Screw you. Second of all, she's biracial. She's both Indian and black. Her father's from Jamaica. Her mom's from India. Now, get the hell out of my live and don't come back, all right? Just get the hell out of my live and don't come back. Just get the hell out of here. Listen, do we have some mods in the chat by any chance? Maybe filter out the box a little bit. I mean, not yet, because I think all of these people are active, but as time goes on, the beautiful mods put in some great work. They do. Everybody say thank you, mods. Thank you, mods, everybody. Sorry. All right, let's see who we got here. Let's bring in Bikes for Life. Very passionate about bikes. How about democracy, buddy? When's the passion about that? Venmo Cash App in the link in bio if you want to support. Make sure to drop a follow if you haven't already. Let's try to get to 200,000 likes. We're very close. Are you MAGA?
Yeah, man. What's up?
Why are you MAGA? What's going on here?
All right. So, I'm a police officer.
Okay.
And Kamala Harris, she's came out multiple times, and I've watched multiple videos on how she literally said, like, in a high crime area or something like that, more police officers aren't going to help the situation. And I just completely disagree with that. I think in order to fight crime, you have to have police officers. Another thing is I'm a military veteran. And
amazing.
When I served, and I've contemplated going back into serving, one, I know she just recently, or the Democratic Party recently just denied a pay boost that went all the way up to Joe Biden, and he denied it for the military. A bunch of my buddies are also discouraged about the current commander in chief. And I think it just
super weird.
It was just completely different under Donald Trump. I mean, you have a president that he couldn't even say certain things. I don't understand why he's currently still in office, because he can't. I mean, we all know, like, he just can't put basic words together for a simple speech. Yeah, that's about it for me.
Okay, I don't know what pay decrease or pay raise decline from Kamala Harris and Joe Biden you're talking about, because Joe Biden actually gave the military the largest pay raise since the early 2000s, around over 5% starting in 2024. This is via military.com, like the largest military newspaper. I'm obviously sure you're familiar with it. So that's number one. Number two, I don't know why people are discouraged about having Joe Biden as the commander-in-chief and Kamala Harris as the possible commander-in-chief when they are experienced in their fields, Joe Biden especially with foreign policy and Kamala Harris with like the rule of law and things like that. Donald Trump has no experience as commander-in-chief, no experience in the military, no experience in foreign policy. So I don't know why you just trust like this random reality TV star to lead your fellow service members into high intensity situations. Now, police officer, I find it funny when I hear that there are Trump or police officers who want to vote for Trump. Because, like, did you not watch January 6th? Like, do you not see those police officers getting beaten and then Donald Trump sat there for an hour? Well, excuse me, over 180 minutes and watched the police officers get beaten and not tell anybody to go home. And his like advisors were urging him, like, please say something, please get them to go home. And we have police officers who they were injured, they broke bones. I mean, you know, some of them were knocked unconscious. It's just like, you didn't see that?
So I did see that, and I actually have one of my buddies. He used to serve in the military as well, and he was actually at that event when he was serving at the time.
Wait, he was in the January 6th crowd, or he's a police officer?
He wasn't. So he was actually military at the time. He was a guardsman at the time,
but
serving
was he in
at
part
January
of the crowd?
6th. No, he wasn't in part of the crowd. Oh. He was serving at the time because they got called up for the riots at January 6th. Yeah. Yeah, they said they did QRF at the armory, and the commander called him up, and then so I don't really know about that situation because I'm not a police officer anywhere near that location. I do know though, under the Joe Biden administration, Atlanta was a nightmare. They almost burned down CNN. Do you remember this when they did the riots in Atlanta? About? It was for the entire George Floyd situation.
Joe Biden wasn't president then.
Oh yeah, that's valid.
What the fuck? Dude, okay, so wait. Oh my God. Oh my God, bruh. Come on, man. Well, okay, well, hey, listen, if that's one of your critiques of Joe Biden, then shouldn't it now be a critique of Donald Trump?
Okay, so I'll ask you a reasonable question. How do you feel about the open border policy?
Wait. We're not moving on that quickly. Can you now listen? You say that under Joe Biden, police almost burned down CNN and Atlanta was a disaster. Can you now criticize Donald Trump for that because he was president then, not Joe Biden? Oh, come on. The answer is yes.
I mean, reasonably, yeah. I'll give you a yes.
Okay.
There.
Okay. Nice.
What about the open border policy? How do you feel about the open border policy?
That we don't have an open border policy. Joe Biden's not in favor of open borders. Neither is Kamala Harris.
Well, we do right now.
No, we don't.
I've worked at the border. We have families of people coming into the border every single day. Border Patrol, we can't do anything. All they have to do is have an app to get in, and then we give them free health care, a check for $1,800, a cell phone, and then they just live here.
So the people you're talking about are seeking asylum, which, as you know, is a legal process in the United States, which allows people to claim that, hey, they're being persecuted based on a protected trait in their home country. They're seeking refuge in the United States. That's legal under international law and American law. So people are allowed to do that. That's perfectly legal. And then they are allowed to be let into the country if they are seeking asylum. Now, the phone you're talking about is it's not like, oh, you get to go play Angry Birds on your phone. There's one app. It's a CBP app, so they can track their court dates for asylum, and they're not getting $1,800 checks. That's not a federal government policy. They're not getting health care. It's none of that. I don't know where you're getting this information,
I'm telling you, man, they're definitely getting health care.
They're not getting health care,
and they're getting a cell phone, and they're getting bused to wherever city they want to go to.
They're getting a cell phone so they can keep track of their court dates. There's no other way right now so that they can keep track of court dates. So that's number one. Go ahead.
Do you not feel like there's enough problems in our country before we should be letting a bunch of people in all the freaking time and not handle our own stuff first?
No, we can have a steady stream of immigration, which actually is very, very good for America, and also address problems at home. We can walk and chew gum at the same time. We're like the wealthiest country in the world. And by the way, as I said, immigration is good for America. The reason our economy is so much stronger than other countries around the world is because we embrace immigration, and a lot of these immigrants come in and they work jobs. Right now, the older Americans, native-born Americans, are retiring at rates faster than younger Americans are entering the workforce. So a lot of these immigrants are taking these jobs and keeping the American economy afloat, while younger Americans are also participating in the labor market. So that's a good thing for the United States. But the last thing I'll say is that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and the Democrats have put forward a number of pieces of immigration legislation. Many of them are very strict, that include like giving the president the ability to shut down the border and giving Border Patrol tens of billions more dollars. And Republicans voted against that policy.
Okay. All right. That's valid. All right. My last question, and then I'll give it to somebody else. So the last question. So the current stage of the world at the point, I mean, there's two wars that are going on. You know, I'm sure you know about all this stuff. What do you think the vice president's plan is if she was to get into office, of how to handle everything? Well, and do you think,
go ahead.
Do you think, like, would there ever be a possible point of another draft?
No, there's not going to be another draft. We haven't had a draft in like, I don't know, like 60, 50 years. Long time, maybe more. No, there's not going to be another draft. And when it comes to like conflict around the world, I think that the best way we can move forward and minimize conflict is standing with allies. When we alienate people and we're not united, that leaves more countries susceptible to attacks and possibly a more war-ridden world. That's Trump's policy. He's just like, yeah, like I just want to focus on the United States. Like I don't care what happens in Europe. But as we all know, with like World War I, World War II, Vietnam, things like that, we know that what happens around the world also impacts the United States. So Kamala Harris recognized that, and standing together is stronger than standing divided.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
Hold on. I got a question. I'm a buddy sitting right next to him because we're all hanging out here. All right. So why do you think Kamala like promises to do all this stuff when she gets elected into office, even though she's already the VP currently? And if you go on her website, all it is donations by mail, her shop. There's no policies. But if you go on Donald Trump's website, he has Agenda 47 on there. I know you brought up Project 2025 earlier, but he has no affiliation with that on his website. So I was just wondering why you think she's having these promises, but she's already in office right now.
Well, VPs can't really do anything in terms of like implementing policy. So that's number one. So just because she's VP doesn't mean she can implement all the things she wants to. And of course, government's also slow. So even if she did have power, there's no reason to expect that in a 4-year term, you can implement everything you want to get done. I mean, it's just not possible. She's also making promises because that's what people do, right? Like, candidates who are running for office, they're telling people, this is what I want to do if I'm elected. You should elect me because if you elect me, I'll restore reproductive rights, I'll fight climate change, I'll lower healthcare costs, things of that nature. And then her website, her campaign is only like 2 to 3 weeks old. So putting up policy on a website takes time, and getting it right is better than getting it up quickly. But you're hearing what she wants to do on the campaign trail, which I think is more meaningful than going on a website and reading about policy. And Trump's policy on his website is trash. It's garbage. It's not going to help anybody.
Have you read it?
I am familiar with a lot of it, unfortunately. Yeah. So by the way, all these policies you'll notice are incredibly vague. So he says, I'm going to lower inflation. And then he doesn't actually tell us how he's going to do that. And he doesn't put forward a comprehensive plan on lowering prices. It's like, okay, well, doesn't mean anything then.
All right, man. We appreciate it, bro. All
right, bro. You have a good rest of your night, man.
Hey, you as well.
Nice guys. Nice guys. I was thinking about what I wanted to say. Leanne, thank you for the $20 on Venmo. I appreciate it so much, saying you're awesome. No, I appreciate it. You're awesome. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate that so much. Shelly, thank you for the $20 in 2020. I can't speak. $20.24. Shelly saying my birthday. Happy birthday, Shelly. Can we get some happy birthday Shellys in the chat? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Happy birthday, Shelly. I hope it's a good one, and I hope you had a lovely day with friends, family, loved ones, and got some relaxation in there. You deserve it, Shelly. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for being generous on your own goddamn birthday. I mean, I feel like you should be receiving the gifts, huh? But thank you. Olive, thank you for the $5 saying, love your voice and what you say. Blue. Olive, man. I love that. Blue. I love the blue heart. Sierra, thank you for the $5 saying congrats on 100K on YouTube. So proud of you. Thank you. Working toward that for quite some time now. So I appreciate that. And I appreciate you like paying attention to YouTube, showing some love on the YouTube. I post videos in there every single day. So thank you, Sierra. I appreciate that a lot. That's incredibly kind of you. So thank you for your support. Venmo Cash App in the link in the bio if you want to support. Venmo Cash App link in bio. And of course, drop a follow if you haven't already. We do these lives all of the time. And make sure to double tap the screen. Let's try to get to 400,000 likes. Thank you for subscribing for the first time. I appreciate you. Love your YouTubes. Thank you, RN. Golly. All right, if you're MAGA, let me know in the chat. I'll bring you up. And we'll talk. You can tell me why on earth Eli. I invited Eli. Let's see if Eli wants to come up. Let's give him a shot. I don't know if he's... Oh, here he is. Hello, are you MAGA?
I am MAGA, 27.
Okay, why are you MAGA?
For me personally, I just really liked Donald Trump's tax plan cuts. We're still under. I benefited off of that. I made about 10 to 12,000 more. And I just like his tax cuts.
Okay, even if you like the tax cuts, let's just say like you do, which I disagree. I think the tax cuts are trash. I mean, it only helps the wealthy. Even if that's like your main policy, you love it. Do you not see all the other terrible things that Donald Trump has done, continues to do, and promises to do as maybe like a much bigger threat than maybe you or, Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk getting a tax cut? You have to get...
Let me ask you this, Harry. You say, oh, Trump doesn't have a plan for like his mass deportations, this and that. Well, Kamala hasn't rolled out anything either yet. She hasn't until probably
I was just
next
talking
week.
About that.
Until next week, she'll probably roll out something. But maybe Trump's waiting on what she's going to say. Then he'll probably do what he needs to do.
Wait, what? Hold on. Wait. So Trump has been in this campaign the entire time. Kamala Harris's campaign is like 3 weeks old. So you're telling me that Trump hasn't put out any policy this entire time because he managed to have this vision into the future, a crystal ball, and you could see that Kamala Harris was going to become the Democratic nominee and not Joe Biden, and he's waiting for her? Come on, buddy. Come on.
Maybe,
no, your guy just has no policy. He's just he deceives you into believing that somehow he's going to get this stuff done, but in actuality, he has no policy.
So let me ask you this, Harry. His mass deportation. What do you think he means by that? He doesn't mean all the illegals.
No, he means every undocumented migrant in the country right now.
I don't think that's not what he's after.
That's what he said. He says we're gonna. Do you not see the signs they hand out at the rallies? Mass deportations now. That's what they're talking about. Every undocumented migrant in the country right now, every single one, which is awful. I mean, not only is that like radically inhumane. A lot of these folks have lives here. They've overstayed like a visa or a green card. That doesn't mean they should be deported. But also it would be devastating for our economy. A lot of these people work in their local communities as coaches, teachers, whatever it might be. They're vital. And Donald Trump's like, nope, they got to go. Why? That makes no sense.
He's probably talking about the illegal immigrants, the drug cartels, the guys that are getting in trouble. He's probably going to clean out the jail systems.
But he's not saying that. The Democrats agree that if you're...
I think that's probably what he means, from my opinion.
But he's not saying that. If that's what he meant, he would say it. But he's like, no, every undocumented migrant we're kicking out of the country.
But I've never heard him say every migrant. I've never heard him say...
What do you think mass deportations mean? Like what? Like
that doesn't mean everybody.
What's mass then to you? Jeez Louise.
Mass is a pretty good number. How many people are in the United States, Harry?
330 million.
All right, 330 million. How many people you think here are illegal immigrants?
I have no idea.
Under Biden and Harris, 10 to 12 million came through here?
No. The encounters at the border was around 7 million, but that's only encounters. The majority of people who are encountered are turned away.
Brother, that's your opinion, man.
That's not my opinion. That's not my opinion. That is what's up? Oh, maybe Chris is requesting up. Maybe he's here. Maybe does anybody in the chat see if Chris was asking to come up in the chat? Can anybody, anyway? No, that's not my opinion. That's fact. Like, that's Border Patrol fact.
Show me the number. Oh, also another thing I wanted to go after. Harry, you posted a picture about Donald Trump's rally in Atlanta compared to Kamala's rally in Atlanta. That's right. Trump had a sellout.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. I'll show you the picture. I'll send you the picture, Harry. I'll email you the picture.
I don't need you to email me, bro. I don't need get out the fax machine. Get it out.
No, I don't need that. The fax machine, Harry. I like how you do all this.
Wait. Okay. Let's just what's up, Super Cool Nice Bro? Appreciate you. No. Let's just let me find the picture I posted. Let me see how long ago was it.
And let me send you the picture that I have.
I have one in Philly. Are you talking about the one in Philly, the rally in Philly? Because that's what I posted recently.
You posted the one about Atlanta.
Atlanta? Let's see here.
Yes, Kamala was in Atlanta. I think Trump was in Atlanta first. No, Kamala was in Atlanta first, and then Trump was in Atlanta.
Let's see here.
Yeah, you posted that, man.
I'm trying to find it. Her rally was a while ago. I'm scrolling down my Twitter. Give me a second here.
It was literally like last week.
This is okay. Let's wait. Hold on. Stop talking. This is the only photo I posted. The Kamala Harris rally is packed.
No, brother.
The only side by side that I can look. I'm on my media. The only side by side I can see is of their Philly rally.
No, it was on your TikTok.
Oh, maybe it was on my I thought you meant my Twitter. I thought you meant
your TikTok, man.
Okay, let's see if I have that video. When was Kamala Harris's rally in Atlanta?
It was like last week.
Let me give an exact date here. Hold on.
And then after that, I have a question for you.
7:30. All right, 7:30. 7:30. Wait, what day was... Oh, my God. This is so annoying. Look at the work you're making me do. I'm joking.
I don't think Donald Trump had a rally tonight, did he? I thought it got...
He had one in Montana tonight. Here we go.
Which is, I don't understand why he's there, but he's got that state locked up.
Nobody likes him.
Oh, man.
Nobody likes him. It's only you. I'm looking at my recently deleted on TikTok, and I do not have a video comparing them side by side.
What was that, like 82 million voted for him?
No,
election?
81 million voted for Joe Biden.
Okay, what was it, 69?
Or 76. 76.
That's a pretty good number. You can't say not everybody liked him. Come on, Harry.
Yeah, but the reason, like, why do you think he's not campaigning right now?
What do you mean? Why he's not campaigning?
Why do you think Donald Trump's not campaigning right
now? Because I'm pretty sure he wanted to see what Kamala Harris they wanted to do next week. Yeah, that's what he said in his.
That's what he said. Of course, that's what he said. But why do you think he actually is not campaigning?
Why does he need a campaign? The man campaign. The man literally works. The man literally never sleeps, man.
Dude,
he works his ass off.
You guys suck up to this guy so much that you can't be like, yeah, well, he's just not working that hard right now. Like every other campaign he's had. I just saw an article today. In 2016 and 2020, by this time, he had in August, he has like 30 plus events, or 22, I think it was, sometimes with 2 occurring on the exact same day. Now he's not even having rallies. He's going to Montana, where he's going to win that state by like 20 points. Like, what is he doing? All he does is golf and scroll on Truth Social all day. But Joe Biden right now is having complex negotiation with countries in the Middle East about a possible hostage deal and ceasefire. Kamala Harris is around the country in virtually every single swing state having rallies. Governor Tim Walz is doing the same. It's like... maybe we should be voting for the people who are actually working, not the people who are golfing. Oh, let's perfect the swing. Look at that.
Well, Harry, that's your opinion, brother.
Yes, I think. I mean, do you disagree with my opinion that maybe we should be voting for? Oh, there's Chris. Chris, can you text me if you're requesting? I might have missed your text. You're right. That is my opinion, but I think that most people would agree that the people who are like working hard and actually talking to voters like every single day in swing states across the country probably should be elected, and not the guy who's sitting there at Mar-a-Lago playing golf all day. I don't know.
Dude, the guy has had like 20 interviews in the last week.
He's not had 20 interviews in the last week. Not even close. Like he had one with a live streamer named Aiden Ross. And that's a dude who like sniffs women's seats when they are no longer sitting there. It's super creepy, super weird. I don't know why you would do that. And then what other interview did he have?
You got to admit, he gets a lot. You got to admit, he gets a lot of views. He gets a lot of views.
Yeah, I hear he's big with like the 15-year-old boy demographic, the edgy 15-year-old boys. He's really, really huge with that demographic.
I mean, I don't know, but I'll tell you. Let me ask you this, Harry. What are you going to do when Trump wins in 24?
He's not going to. And then I always find this question funny. Like, first of all, he's not going to. But second of all, even if he does win, like, what do you think I would do? Do you think I'd just be like, oh, well, this politics thing kind of sucks now, I'm not going to do it anymore? No, of course we like keep fighting. And politics doesn't just end after an election.
Let me ask you this. If there was another Republican that was running besides Trump, would you have the hatred that you have for Trump?
Probably not.
Like for that other person.
Probably not. If this Republican right now is like Mitt Romney or John McCain or Chris Christie or somebody that's logical and can say like, hey, maybe we shouldn't have a felon in the White House, I would dislike them. I would think they'd be a bad president. However, I wouldn't have the same like urgency when it comes to making them lose. Because
whose fault is that though, Harry?
Trump's
That's our
fault.
judicial's fault.
Our judicial fault.
System.
Bro, this guy.
Maybe,
Yo,
hey, maybe it's just Trump's fault for breaking the law. I don't know.
Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
real quick. I just want to back up. I'm from Atlanta. I live in Atlanta. Yeah, buddy. The Trump rally in Atlanta was certainly not as packed as Kamala Harris's rally. In fact, I was at Kamala Harris's rally.
True.
Max capacity at that same arena was 10,000. Kamala Harris had 19,000 people showed up, so 9,000 returned to Ray. The rally started at 5. Kamala Harris started speaking at like 7. I got there at 1:05, and that line was well over a mile. I mean, it was the most absurd thing I've ever seen in my life. I have multiple videos on my TikTok of me standing, and it looks like I'm at a fucking basketball game. It's so packed. Trump's rally.
Trump's had bigger rallies.
What's up?
Trump's had bigger rallies. We act like this is something new for Kamala.
Yeah, so I'm not really interested in the whole like let's compare dick sizes thing. I just came up because you were telling me that like Trump's rally was so crazy, and obviously like when he goes into the middle of Atlanta, like he's at a Georgia State basketball arena. Yeah, I mean no one's gonna show up for that shit. Like he's in the wrong part of Georgia, bro. There's a reason that every single rally up to this has been in like Rome, Georgia, and Marjorie Taylor Greene's district. But yeah, when you try to hold it in the middle of Atlanta, like that's not.
Isn't he leading Georgia right now as we speak?
I think it's like literally tied.
It's literally like a point or two that he's up by. By the way, like
538 poll that I saw, he was leading by like a couple points.
Okay. Yeah, so like 1 to 2 points in a state that previously he was up to like 5 to 6 points in Georgia, and it's pretty good.
Yeah. And I made a video about. Actually, it doesn't matter. Go ahead, Eric. Sorry.
No, go. You can finish.
No.
Mine's sort of off topic, so you might as well say what you want to say.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, I think actually he's gonna lose Georgia. One of the reasons he's gonna lose Georgia is because at that same rally, he goes and he criticizes, Brian Kemp. He says, "I don't like your governor." Isn't
he up for re-election, Brian Kemp?
Yeah. So Eli, there's a reason. What are you talking about?
He's not up for re-election this year.
No, he's not. I think it's like 26. But
in 2 years. I'm sorry, in 2 years.
Well, regardless, Eli. Yeah, so there's a reason that like we voted all at the same time. Brian Kemp beat Stacey Abrams by like 20 points, and at the same time we voted for Biden. We voted for Biden and we elected 2 Democrat senators. And the reason that happened is because there's a lot of Republicans here. There's a lot of Republicans who really don't like Trump and Trumpism because he's fucking crazy. And so when you go on, like objectively, North, thanks for the 1 month subscription. Is that a thing now? Oh, what? Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Oh, W. I appreciate you so much. But yeah, like when you're like criticizing and objectively very
Hello?
Say that again. Hello?
What?
Dude, what the hell just happened?
Chris just fell off the face of the earth, everybody. He's gone.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro. Are you good? All right, I'll continue my conversation with you, Eli, while he figures out the mess. Oh, he's gone. Listen, Donald Trump the other day, speaking of crowd sizes, Donald Trump the other day said that his January 6th speech at the Ellipse in Washington, D.C. before the insurrection was bigger than Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech and the March on Washington.
I disagree with that.
So, okay. And do you also disagree with the lie that he's told for years now that his inauguration was bigger than Barack Obama's?
I'm pretty sure when I checked the numbers, I think Obama's was slightly bigger.
No, not slightly, significantly. Significantly, like way bigger. Way
I'll have to
bigger.
look at those numbers again, but I know you're right about Obama's being a lot, not a lot bigger, but slightly bigger.
Okay, so don't you think that like somebody who lies about like really trivial things like that probably lies about a lot more that we also know he lies about? We probably shouldn't be electing a liar to the White House, the most powerful position in the world.
I don't know. 76 million people came out for him last year, man. I mean, a couple of years ago.
You're right. 76 million people did vote for him. But just because 76 million people vote for something doesn't mean that that person should be president of the United States. I mean, I think you could substitute any really bad person in there and say, well, they got 76 million votes, and say, well, maybe that means they should be president. Obviously not. And now we know a lot more about Donald Trump even than we did in 2020. I mean, the insurrection happened. He lied about the election. He's been convicted of crimes. He's been found liable of sexual abuse. He's been found liable for extensive business fraud. He's been indicted in multiple different jurisdictions. I mean, we know this guy is off his rocker. He's also like not even coherent anymore. He said that he was in a helicopter crash with Willie Brown the other day, and Willie Brown's on CNN tonight saying that literally never happened.
So let me ask you this: for the January 6th insurrection, didn't he say like peacefully and patriotally show up?
Yeah, one time in his speech, he did say peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard. However, he said that once and only once. In the rest of the speech, he said, when you see fraud at this levels, you go by different rules. You have to fight like hell. If you don't fight, you won't have a country anymore, and things like that. And then he knew that this armed crowd who had firearms, brass knuckles, knives, things of that nature, he knew they were armed and then directed them to the Capitol anyway, told them that he'd be marching with them, and they went there and committed violence. It's like anybody who has half of a brain can see that, hey, you have this really angry crowd with weapons. Maybe they're going to do something bad. And if you can't realize that and can't have the foresight to see something like that coming, then you certainly shouldn't be commander in chief.
But let me ask you this, though. I don't think he really said those things.
What?
I don't think he said the last part what you just said.
Eli, I don't really think, here's the thing. I don't really think that you need to like take, specific sentences. There's an entire January 6th report, and a lot of this report shows that in the months leading up to January 6th, he's pumping he's pumping disinformation and fear mongering for months about how the election's stolen, about how the Democrats hate our country, about how we have to take our country back. And he's getting all these reports through this time that his supporters are very angry and they're all going to join in Washington, D.C. for a march. And, you're essentially like pouring gas on the fire all the way up.
He said what? He said what? Told them to fight like hell.
Wait, Eli.
That could mean so many different things.
Let's follow a basic logic train. Do you think that the 2020 election was stolen?
Do I think the 2020 election was stolen?
Uh-huh.
I think he lost it fair and square.
So you think he lost?
I mean, I will say yes.
Okay, so does Donald Trump still claim right now that the 2020 election was stolen from him?
Well, to him and to his supporters, a lot of his supporters, they think that the election. I will say that there is election fraud in every election that happens. There was probably election fraud that happened in 2020. Wasn't there a state that just apologized to him?
Well, no, but I was just trying to understand your logic on that. But regardless, you can't tell people for months that the election was stolen with no evidence when it's not stolen, and then gather a crowd of people that have weapons and are very angry, and then tell them to march like hell. I think that whole your one sentence in there about marching peacefully erases all that. And when the violence started, there's 186 minutes where he's completely silent as Capitol police officers are being beat over the head and tased and he just said nothing. So why didn't he say anything during the 186 minutes?
That's a question you're going to have to ask the man himself.
Well, this is the problem, guys. Now, this is the problem. We're like putting the bar in the fucking ground, right? So when you're president of the United States and a federal building is being stormed by your supporters and police officers are like getting beat and Congress people are literally hiding like for their lives, at the very least, it is a disgusting lack of, I don't know. It's a disgusting. You have to do something, right? At the very least. And the fact is that the Capitol was breached at 1 p.m. Donald Trump finished his rally at 1:10 p.m. He was informed of the violence at 1:18 p.m. And there's 186 minutes where we know via testimony that not only did not say anything, but he was watching Fox News and watching it and just seemed to enjoy
cheering them on.
Yeah. So
saying like they're my people. Look at them go. Things of that nature.
Yeah, but like you guys make it seem like he gathered them all around and he literally gave them he said that, okay, this is what we're going to do and this is how we're going to do it. He never said that. He said, fight like hell. That doesn't mean.
Do you think that he should have said something?
Do
you think that during 186 minutes he should have sent out a tweet to tell his supporters to just go home and stop as police officers were getting PTSD and brain injuries?
Didn't he tell his...
No. Yeah, it's a yes or no question. It's a yes or no question. Do you think that he should have sent out a tweet within the first 186 minutes telling his supporters to go home?
I think he tried to stop it. I think his family did.
Eli, let me ask you a question, Eli. Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Let's just say there was this really powerful guy, and he had a bunch of supporters. And for 3 months straight, this powerful guy was saying that this person, let's call him Person A, is causing all of these problems. He's trying to steal the country from you. He's trying to fundamentally alter your lives and destroy the country you so love, right? For 3 months, let's just say this powerful guy does that to Person A. Then the powerful guy is standing 20 blocks away, and the leader has all of his supporters in front of him, and they are all armed. And they all are rowdy, and he knows that there's meant to be violence and things like that. And then the leader says, you have to go to that person and fight like hell, because if you don't fight, he's going to take away your country. And if you see fraud at this levels, you go by different rules. And then that leader directs them to go to that individual. Do you think it's reasonable for someone to believe that there might be violence as a result of that?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's literally January 6th, right? Trump for 3 months straight was saying that all these Democrats and rhino Republicans are trying to steal your country. Then he tells everybody to come to January 6th. The FBI, the Secret Service, is telling him that there's going to be violence that day. He knows that people are planning for violence. He gathers them at the ellipse, then and also knows they're armed, and then sends them to the Capitol, where he's telling them that all these people who are evil are residing. So he should have.
But Harry, let me ask you this, Chris. How does he know they're armed?
He was told multiple, amazingly, there's a January 6th report where we got literally everybody in the Trump admin to testify under oath. And so we know about very specific meetings in the days leading up to January 6th, where people are telling him, his advisors and stuff, they're like, hey, your supporters are showing up and they have a lot of weapons, according to the FBI. I'm more than happy to pull up that page.
And there were metal detectors at the speech that people were walking through, and their brass knuckles were being taken away from them. And then Donald Trump told them to remove the metal detectors.
By the way, I'm pretty sure Trump, I don't know what times Trump's speech was supposed to be, but he's still not speaking.
Well, because he's still not at the speech. Tonight.
No, yeah, they just finished some random guy. Everyone's just sitting there listening to music. They look bored as hell. See
His plane got diverted. Something happened.
Wait, apparently the Trump campaign played the theme from the Titanic at his rally.
Yes, it's actually, this shit's so funny.
You know what, Harry, Chris, you guys are going to be upset when Trump gets back into office in 24.
Okay.
What are you boys going to do now?
All right, big dog.
Literally, no. We're going to continue, Eli. We're, one of the things we always talk about is number one. I don't know what we expect you expect the response to be. We're not going to cry and shit our pants. We're going to keep working in politics and working on it. But also I want to point out it's a privilege. It's a privilege for Harry and I to be able to sit up here and suggest that, because nothing will fundamentally change in our lives if Trump wins. But there's a lot of people who aren't straight white males who can't say the same, and so it's pretty important that this guy doesn't win.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm an Asian American from a different country. I hope to God Trump wins in 24 because we need him.
Okay.
But it was a pleasure talking to you guys. Harry, have a great night. I appreciate what you do.
Thanks,
Chris,
man.
I appreciate what you do. You guys have a good
Eli,
one.
be safe.
All right. Thanks,
Thank
Eli.
you, man.
Appreciate it.
So wait, so did his plane get diverted?
I guess so, dude. That's right.
Like, why? Amy, I appreciate you. Yo, thanks for all the gifts, guys. It's really great to see everyone. Truly.
Oh man, I can't believe
I can't believe he hasn't like started. Yeah, I know. I saw that they like play the Titanic. I know you have a tweet already going out. He said,
I'm typing a tweet right now. Dude.
Yeah. This is
Dude,
so funny.
Sorry. Think it's funny?
Sorry.
No, listen. Trump is currently running on East Coast time, so it's like 11 o'clock on the East Coast. So by the time he gets onto that stage, it's going to be like 12 o'clock at night, and he's going to be a disaster, dude. He's not going to know what planet he's on.
The press conference was like so fucking bad.
Dude, it was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. He doesn't know where he is.
Yeah, no, this guy.
Jeez Louise. All right, AB. Hello, are you
this guy.
MAGA?
This guy.
What's up, guys?
Do I know this guy?
No, I'm just looking at his profile picture, just taking a shot in the dark here.
Okay. Are you MAGA?
What did you say, Chris?
Nothing. I'm just continue. Are you? Sorry.
Are you mad?
That was not nice. I'm being a dick. I'm sorry.
Well, Chris, you might be. Give it a second. Are you
sorry.
MAGA, AB?
Wait, I missed what Chris said at the beginning. What'd you say?
No. I was making a joke.
No, bro,
I'm just
are you
being a
MAGA,
dick. It's
bro?
late. It's late. Let's talk. Are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. What state are you voting in, bro?
Pennsylvania.
Oh,
God
fuck.
fucking damn it!
What?
Nothing.
Nothing about that, bro.
Don't worry about it, bro.
I mean, there's no reason to not tell me why you did that.
Oh my God.
Why are you voting for Trump, dude?
Well, first off, I don't really want to have a conversation if you guys are just going to be like, I don't know.
Hey man. Harry just said,
What?
"God fucking damn it," because Pennsylvania is a really important state in the election. I think that's pretty clear.
Well, yeah, obviously, no shit.
Okay.
Yeah. So why are you? You're the one who asked the question.
Because you guys are just fucking being assholes off the rip.
Oh. Okay. All right. Let's start. Over.
And you call us the snowflakes. It's ridiculous.
I was being an ass. I apologize. I don't know you. I've never met you. I should give you more respect. Talk to me. Why are you voting for Trump, buddy?
Because I'm looking for the economy to go back to normalcy.
Okay. What do you mean by that?
I mean, I want gas prices to go back to how it was 4 years ago. And I want our grocery bills to go down how it was.
Okay, what is Trump going to do to make that happen?
Well, what has the Biden administration done to grow it?
I'll tell you both of those things, but answer my question first. What is Trump going to do to solve that? You're saying like that's why you're voting for him, right? So I would expect that you might be able to know like what he's going to do to make it happen, right?
Well, I would expect things to go back to how they were when he was in office, yes.
Why? Why do you think that they're going to automatically go back to the way that things were when he was in office?
Because it went down when he was in office to begin with, and now it's doubled and tripled since he's not been in office.
Nice.
Actually, like gas prices were relatively the same when he was in office.
That
Inflation
is
was
not
relatively
true
the same.
at all.
Yeah,
That
no,
is
comparative to like the Obama administration that came before him, you're saying it went down as during Trump's presidency, but that's not true. And the only reason that gas prices and prices have gone up, it's not true. You can look at inflation per month under the Trump administration versus the Obama administration. It's obviously like different, or obviously very much the same. But the reason that inflation has gone up now and gas prices have gone up now is because what happened in 2020? You remember what big event?
Yes, COVID.
Okay. And COVID like shut down our economies around the world. And when that happens, there's going to be economic repercussions. And inflation is a lagging indicator. So inflation doesn't happen like that immediately as an economy shut down. It can take a year or two to hit. And that's what happened. So the inflation has nothing to do with Joe Biden and having Joe Biden be president. It has everything to do with the fact that there was a goddamn pandemic that destroyed economies around the world.
I understand what you're trying to say, but we can't be living in like COVID was last year.
Yeah, AB, you got to. I think you got to be able to get some state some cause and effect here. Like, give me the cause. You said things have doubled and tripled. So, what did Biden do? What policy did Biden enact that caused the prices to double and triple?
Wait, can you repeat that or like explain it a different way?
Sure. So cause and effect. So Trump is one of only two presidents to leave the presidency with more jobs lost than he gained. He ended his presidency minus 3 million jobs with an unemployment rate of 14%. A lot of the cause of that was COVID. right? So we can acknowledge that there is things that happen sometimes with outside of a president's control. So when you're looking at like a lot of these issues in a very complex global economy, it's important to like identify the cause. So you say like Biden caused inflation, and I want things to go back to normal. So I'm asking you like how Biden caused that inflation.
Well, I'm wondering, as of 4 years later, why these gas prices are still much higher than.
So I feel like you're kind of avoiding my question.
So what's
I feel like you're also avoiding my question.
So AB, let me explain this like super quickly. Number one, if we go look at the price of gas compared to the average income right now, which the average income has changed significantly since 4 years ago and even 8 years ago, obviously, the average price of gas comparatively to that is pretty much the same, actually lower than it was under the Trump administration and Obama. Part of what Harry's trying to explain is that the reason gas was really low under Trump at one point is because COVID happened, the world shut down, there was no demand for oil. And so when there was no demand for oil, people stopped drilling oil because they weren't making money. So supply was really low, demand was really low. And then Biden got in office, vaccines went out, everybody went outside. And all of a sudden, demand for oil skyrocketed while supply was still very low. And high demand and low supply causes inflation. And so that's why we saw higher gas prices in 2021 and 2022. And then, as of, 6-8 months ago, we saw, half of states be below $3. I know in Georgia we're at like $2.89.
With the election coming up?
Wait, hold on. But then we saw gas prices go up a little bit because we're still subjected to the global market, right? We see things going on overseas in Russia and Israel, and we can't control how much gas, other countries, for example, are producing. And so that's going to affect the price of our oil as well.
Right. And that would happen because of the war that's over there, correct?
I mean, that could be one, but
right.
Yeah, that would
the one that's being money laundered through the Biden administration.
Okay, what?
This guy is such a. So anyway, I actually take back all my statements. I was 100% right about the first part. This is just we got a goofball up here.
Did he ever answer your question? Sorry, I was like looking at Twitter. Did he answer your question? Like, did you?
No, he doesn't know why. He says he can't. He doesn't know why, and he also doesn't know any Trump policy. I don't think. That would at least he said that he didn't know how Trump was going to fix it.
Okay,
that's your word, not
mine. Elaborate on how the Biden administration is money laundering in Ukraine. You guys are, what? Governor Tim Walz is right. You guys are so weird, man. Like, we're up here trying to talk about like reproductive rights, infrastructure, creating jobs, things like that. And you're like, well, I think Biden's money laundering in Ukraine. Okay.
All right. Well, let me ask you this. Why do you think the Biden administration has shipped illegal immigrants all across the country by bus?
What the fuck does that have to do with what I just asked?
Okay, I'm just asking questions.
Chris is dying. Somebody help Chris down there. He's choking. Get him about it. Look at that guy.
AB.
Somebody help him.
AB, can I ask you a quick question before we go back to Ukraine?
Absolutely.
Do you think that do you support Trump's idea of like mass deportation?
Of illegal immigrants, yes.
Okay. Do you think immigrants at all are important to our country? Like, do you think it's important to let people immigrate here?
I think it is, but illegally, no. Okay.
Well, I just want you to know that, again, this is why being more nuanced is important. I think that our immigration currently is playing a key role in the fact that we have the strongest economy in the world. And multiple economists would cite right now that we have an aging workforce where, especially during COVID, boomers started retiring at a rate of 2 to 1 compared to the new worker. And so right now, actually, immigrants, both undocumented and documented, are single-handedly propping up the U.S. economy. There is not enough native-born Americans to work every single job. And so there's a reason that we have like the lowest unemployment rate in the world. And, we're still in recovery mode, but, objectively compared to most other countries, we by far have the strongest economy. And I'd say immigrants, both documented and undocumented, play a huge role in that. So I think it'd be really disastrous for you and me and Harry, for example, if we just started deporting a bunch of people because our economy would collapse and we'd go into recession.
Okay. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. So why is how is Biden money laundering again?
I mean, for me to sit here and talk about it and to have a 2v1 is completely.
All right, I'll let you talk to Harry.
Listen, you can pick one of us to mute. Who do you want to talk to one-on-one?
I just feel like
I'm not going to speak. I'm going to let you talk to Harry.
No, there's no like. There's so many different points that I would like to make that I've been trying to make also that I'm just spewing all of them out.
Dude, get a grip. Get a grip. So how is the Biden administration money laundering?
I'm sorry, what'd you say, Harry?
How is the Biden administration money laundering in Ukraine? You said that's happening. How are they doing that?
How are they not?
So when you make a claim, you actually have to back it up with evidence, right?
Right.
You can't prove a negative. You have to actually back it up with evidence. So.
And we've all been sitting here listening to you guys talk, and none of you have backed anything up with evidence through the entire thing.
What have we not backed? Anyway, that doesn't matter. Go ahead. Prove us wrong then. Embarrass us publicly. If it's so obvious, like there's this huge criminal scheme going on, I'm sure there's something groundbreaking. Go.
I'm still trying to make the case for other illegal immigrants getting bussed around throughout the country. And
wait, what? You said that we were money laundering in Ukraine, so I'm trying to add, like,
right, and I bounced over to this also.
Okay, we'll talk about both. So let's start here. Why do you think that? What evidence do you have that we're money laundering in Ukraine?
I would like to talk about.
Okay. So maybe you want to take that back?
No, I firmly stand by that.
Okay, so then why do you think that? There's two options here. Either we talk about it or you take it back. You can say I was wrong, I shouldn't have said that, or you can try to back it up. Your choice.
I personally have no evidence on that.
So then why do you believe it?
Because that's my claim.
Based on what?
My beliefs.
And why do you believe those things?
Because it makes sense.
Okay, how does it make sense?
Because I believe it.
Okay, why do you believe it?
Because I feel like that's probably what's happening.
Okay, why do you feel like that's probably what's happening?
You're just drawing me in a circle.
I'm doing everything I possibly can to give you the opportunity to present evidence on your claim. I'm giving you like any opportunity here.
I believe that is what is currently happening underneath everyone's noses.
Okay, but why do you believe that? Because you heard Donald Trump say it, or?
No, I just toward a like a dark Twitter feed.
You have the emotional maturity of like a 4-year-old, my brother. Like if you just say, you can just say, I feel this way, but I have no evidence to back it up.
I actually said that, Chris. I actually did say that.
Okay, well then maybe let me go back. Let me rephrase it. I feel like you could just say, I feel like you could be emotionally mature enough to not believe something with no evidence. It's weird.
I understand what you're saying, but what I'm trying to explain is I actively have no evidence on that, but this is what I believe.
But don't you think that's a silly thing to do, to believe something with no evidence?
I believe that could be what's happening.
Okay. I believe that there's a lion standing outside my door that's going to eat me as soon as I walk out there. Do you think that's a reasonable? I have no evidence for that. No, none at all. But do you think that's it's possible? Could be.
Like I don't have like the information here with me right now. I don't. I'm saying like I've read about it as that being a possibility, and I believe that. Is what I'm saying.
But you acknowledge that you don't have any evidence on it.
Right.
So do you think that me believing that there's a tiger standing outside my door and that's going to eat me is like reasonable? Even though I have no evidence to believe that. There's no reason. There's no zoo near me and no tigers, but I think that there is a tiger out there. Do you think that's reasonable? Do you think it's like if I'm like, no, I'm not leaving this room because I think there's a tiger out there? Do you think that's reasonable?
The point I'm trying to make is like,
of course you don't think it's reasonable, right?
Okay. Well, the point I'm trying to make is like going down a Twitter feed and I don't know, maybe months ago of reading this stuff and just trying to like gather information. I don't actively have that in the back of my brain to just spew out to you guys right now
because it doesn't exist. I'll just give you like, I'll make it like super easy for you. It just doesn't exist. That's not a thing. We're not money laundering in Ukraine. It's not like I don't even know how we would go about doing that, but no, that's not happening. Considering that anything we send abroad to other countries is under strict DoD watch, and also given the fact that we sent like billions of dollars in aid to other countries under Donald Trump. I'm sure you also don't think we were money laundering then, but now you think we are because of Joe Biden. But I understand that you don't have evidence for that. It is what it is. We'll move on. What was the other thing you wanted to talk about? The border?
I was asking why the Biden administration has shipped illegal immigrants, like bust them. Like Philadelphia is an example, and why that is the case, like why that's happening.
A lot of these buses are actually not sent by the Biden administration. They're sent by like governors in these Republican states like Texas. I think the plan is called Operation Lone Star, where they like fill up these buses with undocumented migrants or asylum seekers, and then they send them to Democrat cities to try to own them. It's like, well, that doesn't own anybody. It's just super gross to use people as political pawns. But that's not a Joe Biden policy. I don't know.
All right.
So, anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right, man. This was fun. You have a good rest of your night, all right?
All righty.
Jeez Louise. Trevon, thank you for the $5. Good to see you again. I appreciate you being back here. Thank you for the $5. I appreciate that. Connor, my man, thank you for the $10. Great to see you back here as well. And oh my God, Margaret, thank you for the $50 on Cash App. Margaret, I appreciate you so much. Can we please get some W Margarets in the chat? That is remarkable. We need at least 50 W Margarets right now. What an amazing person saying thanks for all you do. Margaret, thank you again for your support. And again, thank you for being back here. You're always here supporting. It means the world. W Margaret, she's amazing. Truly, always here supporting. We love her. Love, love, love her. Thank you, Margaret. I appreciate you. Gary, thank you for the $5 as well, my man. And Tessa, thank you for the $10 saying the platform is unveiled at convention. Well, that's also a good point. The official platform is. But certainly not the Trump platform. They didn't do anything. Claire, thank you for the $20 saying you have changed my life. I have an understanding and love of politics I never had before. I'm here for every live. Claire, golly, Claire, you've changed my life. I appreciate you being here. Your support has changed my life. So I hope you know that. And man, I'm so glad to hear that you love it. That's fantastic. That's wonderful. And I'm glad you're involved. And thank you for being here as always. It really means the world. And Jesse, thank you for the $20 as well. Tiger food. It's out there, ladies and gentlemen. I don't have evidence for it, but I think it. Anyway, Venmo, Cash App in the link in the bio if you want to support the live. And also make sure to drop a follow if you haven't already. Double tap the screen, follow Chris. His Venmo Cash App is the same as his TikTok username.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of that, actually, Margaret.
Shut the hell up, bro.
Can I get a huge W in the chat for Margaret? $50 on Cash App. That is fucking incredible. I do not take that for granted. Holy shit. Margaret B, if you're down there, I want to make sure I'm following you. Sometimes I'm more of a profile picture person, so I probably know exactly who you are, but I can't tell. Tess, it's good to see you. Great to see you. So, Margaret, thank you so much for $50 on Cash App. Truly goes a long way. And Connor, $10 on Cash App. Thank you so much. W's in the chat, guys. I do not take that for granted. You're the best. Lowell, I know you stay busy, bro. Follow me. I'll follow you down there. Connor, if you're there. And Margaret said, thanks for all you do. Thank you. I appreciate you.
You know, they say, Harry, what do you think about Chris's predictability? I say, too predictable. He's too predictable. Just so predictable.
I think Trump is like coming out now, maybe. I see like 10 people in the crowd standing
I'm
up.
inviting a bunch of people, by the way. I don't know why y'all aren't coming up right now.
Is Trump coming out? Oh, Trump's coming out. He just came out. There's like 4 people at this rally. I'm not even lying. This is the smallest rally. Bro, I could hold a bigger rally. I love throwing shit in Trump's supporters' faces. They're always obsessed about crowd size.
What's up, Adrian? Are you MAGA?
No, I'm not.
Brent, thanks for $20.24. I love you. Thank you.
I love all the content you're making, and I love how you are educating people. Dude, I've been watching you since 2022. You're a great person.
Adrian, I appreciate you so much, man. You hear me? I appreciate that so much, bud. Thank you. Golly. You watched 2022? Jeez Louise, dude. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, man.
Yep, have a nice day.
Thanks, man.
Yo, W in the chat for Brent, $20.24. Harris Wall. Brent, it's really great to see you, and I appreciate you so much. Truly, thank you.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what the hell's going on there? Are you watching movie in the movie theater?
The new microwaves got mics now, so you can fucking connect them to TikTok.
No, that was my air conditioner. Sorry.
No, I was being a dick. I'm sorry. That was rude of me.
Cameron, are you MAGA?
Yeah.
Why?
So it's more so voting for the party, not as much as the person. So I live in Pennsylvania, for context. I like Josh Shapiro. I think he's doing a great job, and I'd probably be more inclined to vote Democrat if he was the nominee.
By the way, Trump on stage just made the weirdest motion I've ever seen him make, and I already know you're going to make a video about it. Just want to point that out.
This guy knows. Cameron, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, there's just some views on the left that I can't necessarily get behind.
Like
what? Like the whole thing with in California, for example, with the whole school thing and not telling parents or, including them in some decisions about their kids. I'm a father myself, and, I'd like to know what's going on in my kids' lives. Yeah, and I understand the point that you made earlier, that there's some parents out there that might not agree with their views, kick them out of the house, stuff like that. But I think we need to get back to the conversation around the dinner table, and not withholding that from the household.
Okay, but do you not understand like the possibility of that going like horribly wrong for some people? Like if let's just say a teacher overhears a conversation between two students. They don't know the teacher's there, and they're confiding in each other, and one's saying, "Hey, I really want to tell you something. I'm not really comfortable with saying this to other people. I'm bi or whatever it might be," right? And that teacher overhears it. Do you think that the teacher should be legally required to inform the parents?
No. It's fine if they're having a conversation about it, but if they're encouraging it or trying to provide resources or help them along, which is not a bad thing, I feel like the parents should be involved in that decision making.
Wait, that's not what the legislation does. It's not like forcing it anybody or telling anybody to do anything. It's just saying that a teacher cannot permit or is not permitted to reveal this information about like gender identity or sexuality to a parent of a student unless it has the consent of that student. I think that makes sense because it allows for that child to come out to their parents when they are ready. They might feel more comfortable talking to a teacher or a fellow student about this than they are their own parents, which I think makes sense. I think that there's like a lot of instances of which, not only with like sexual identity and gender identity, you might just feel more comfortable talking to a teacher about more personal things or a student about more personal things.
Right. No, and I could agree with that. My whole thing, I think we need to get back to families, getting back to the core families and having the conversations around the dinner table. That's not really happening.
I don't know why. Okay. So okay. All right. Maybe I'm understanding now. You're voting for Trump because you think that he's more of a proponent of family.
The conservative party, yes.
Okay, so just to be clear here, the guy who's cheated on every single one of his wives, cheated on Melania with an adult actress while she was at home taking care of their newborn child, and has had, again, like 3 different divorces, 2 different divorces, 3 wives. That's a guy who's a proponent of family?
No, again, like I said, the man that is running, unfortunately, on the ticket, would not be my choice whatsoever, but he's who we have to live with. And again, it's voting for the party over the actual person.
But don't you think that sometimes you have to put country over party? Like, can't you see how like putting your party before the United States right now might be dangerous for us long term?
Yeah, no, I can totally understand that. What I don't think a lot of people understand, right? For myself and a lot of people that I talk to, we have a very progressive mindset, right? I agree with a lot of Democratic policy, right? I think Biden has done a phenomenal job, especially with the infrastructure bill. We're seeing huge results of that in Pennsylvania, right? But it's a lot of these views that I just can't get behind.
Okay. All right. Let me just get this straight. All right. You're progressive in your mind. You are feeling the effects of Biden administration policy, of which Kamala Harris has worked on, like the infrastructure bill, which is rebuilding America, the largest infrastructure deal since Eisenhower's highway system.
Harry, I really hate to cut you off here. Donald Trump just said that people don't know Kamala Harris's last name. And he doesn't understand. Christ. He said, if you ask people, they don't know Kamala's last name. They say, Harris, how did this happen? I didn't know it was Harris. So, just thought I'd let you know. I'm sorry,
dude. What the actual fuck, dude?
Sorry, man. Continue.
God, he's an idiot.
You're voting for him.
Yeah, but like I said, it's for the party. It's not necessarily for the person.
Okay, but if there's an idiot running your party, then maybe somebody that you recognize as not that bright probably shouldn't be leading the United States of America and is the commander in chief. That you have to be like kind of smart to be able to do. Some experience maybe in foreign policy would help with that. No?
I mean, he has some he has some experience having served for 4 years.
And in those 4 years, I mean, he was terrible, but in foreign policy specifically. But like, if you, I don't get it. Like, if you acknowledge, like, you would agree that the presidency requires somebody who's intelligent. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you would agree that some of these.
I also agree that there should be a limit on how long you hold office or how long you're in politics.
So we have that for the presidency.
Yes, I understand that, but Joe Biden's been in politics for what? How long? 49 years?
Well, I think if somebody's like a really effective public servant, then they should be able to do that, unless they're in office that's term limited.
I think that's why a lot of people are stuck in the old mindset and they don't want to be progressive in thinking, because we have people that are that have been serving since the 80s, the 70s.
So. Okay, but just to go back to my line of questioning, you agree that the presidency requires somebody that's smart, and you would agree that a lot of the president's duties is not just implementing policy of which you agree with, which includes like commander in chief, military things, making decisions on like foreign policy on a day-to-day basis, reading their briefings and things like that. You would agree that all of those are aside maybe from policy that they're trying to implement, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and you would agree that somebody that's smart is needed for those things, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So all these really, really, really core functions of the presidency, you're willing to just overlook in the name of being like, well, Trump might agree with me more on whatever policy you're citing.
Yeah, again, I don't think it's necessarily policy. It's just, outside views that affect the decision that I'm making with who I'm voting.
Like what?
Well, okay, so like, for example, are you pro death penalty or are you against death penalty?
I'm typically anti-death penalty, but I'm not like super passionate about it.
Okay, why?
I think that like of all the issues out there that are pressing, I think it's like an issue that should be addressed for sure, but I don't think it's the most pressing issue.
No, I can understand that, but what makes your view anti-death penalty?
Oh, you're asking why I'm anti-death penalty? Yeah, there are a percentage of people who are on death row who are innocent. I think the number is estimated around like 4% via a number of different studies. Actually, killing somebody via death penalty is more expensive than keeping somebody in prison for life. And I think like the way we do it is pretty inhumane. I'm not sure if that's if that's justified. Maybe justified is not the right word. Just inhumane, I think, is the right word. So for those reasons, I typically lean more anti-death penalty.
Okay, would you agree? Would you be more for it if the system was reformed and it was a much more streamlined process than waiting 20, 25 years for something to happen?
No, I don't think so. I think that like I'm not even sure I'm morally comfortable with the idea of the like, oh, if you kill somebody, we have to kill you. I'm not sure if that's like the right way to go about it.
Okay, so the way I view it, right, and again, I'm just going to use this example because it was big in the news recently, the people behind the 9/11 attacks, right?
Yeah.
There's no reason those people should be alive, in my opinion. They killed, it's well over 3,000 people now with the cancer-related deaths associated with 9/11. There's no reason why it should have even been considered taking the death penalty off the table for those individuals. And I feel something should have been done about that much earlier. But then
the Biden administration with Lloyd Austin revoked that deal.
Yeah, I think that was only because it got a lot of pressure. And I'm not saying it's only from pressure from one side. There's a lot of people upset about that on both sides.
But they did it anyway. Like when you're saying, oh, you're pro death penalty, I guess, but then in this instance that you're citing, the Biden administration did something that you agree with.
Yes, but typically the Liberal Party is anti-death penalty.
So you're like, the death penalty is something you're really voting on? I've never heard of this before, to be honest with you. The death penalty is something you really think about when you vote?
It's something that I consider. I wouldn't say that, you know, when I'm showing up to vote that day, you know, that's the thing, you know, that's most pressing, but it's certainly, you know, a factor that I do think.
Are you pro-life?
Yes, but
okay, so how are you? Okay. How are you pro death penalty and also pro life?
Because so I don't think the right answer is killing a fetus that didn't get the chance to experience life versus letting somebody live out their life that took a life from somebody else.
But why do you value the fetus? Like, why do you value it?
Because I mean, at the end of the day, that's still a person. That's going to be a person.
But
we don't know
you'd say that person's alive, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it boils down to the fundamental principle of them being alive. That's why you value them. If they weren't alive, you wouldn't value them. So you value the fetus because they're alive. But when it comes to somebody in the death penalty, you don't value them even though that they're alive. So your fundamental principle is contradictory in both of these instances.
It's not, though, because that fetus never got the chance to experience life. They didn't even get that far.
Yeah, but it's not the opportunity to experience life that you value. Just like you don't the main thing that you value with the death penalty person is not that they had the opportunity to experience life. It's that they're alive, right? The fetus is alive.
Yeah.
In your view. So
yeah.
The fact that it's alive is the thing that you that makes you be like, oh, well, I'm pro-life. So then that principle should apply to death penalty people as well.
Yeah, I mean, I guess just at the end of the day, if people are out there, you know, committing heinous crimes, like again, those terrorists behind 9/11, there's no reason in my mind that they should, you know, still be in existence.
So can I ask a question real quick? Just popping in here because I can't listen to Trump's speech anymore. I mean, it's just so fucking incoherent. So you said you first of all, I assume you're pro-life, right? Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you support like Republicans' laws around abortion?
Not necessarily.
Okay, because I mean, not necessarily would mean that you're voting. You're not gonna if pro-life is something that's important to you and you don't support the Republican policy around abortion, then you shouldn't vote for them.
Here's my view on it, and I'm telling you, the more that you get out and you have these conversations with people, which I know that both you do these lives all the time. I join in all the time and listen to these. That's where I learn a lot of information when it comes to policy. The more that you start talking to younger individuals like myself that are in a progressive mindset, the more you're going to see that, you know, we align a lot more with you guys than what's portrayed, right? So like, I'm all for, if somebody wants to make that decision with their body, you know, they should have every right to. I'm not personally for it, right? But I shouldn't have the right to take that right from somebody else.
Okay, so why? I know. So wait. So why are you voting for Trump?
Again, it comes down to just some things that I agree more with on the Republican side.
Yeah, because you said earlier it was like a party thing, but you know, Donald Trump is not a Republican, right? Donald Trump is a king in the GOP atmosphere, and he encapsulates a lot of things that have nothing to do with being a conservative or the Republican Party. He's single-handedly going to destroy it. So, like Donald Trump trying to overturn an election he didn't win with evidence, he didn't win it. Do we support that?
No, absolutely not.
Oh, it should be so it's over party, but again, this isn't a party issue. This is a man who thinks he won an election and is trying to overturn it when he didn't. That's just anti-democracy.
Right. And again, my original point, I didn't vote for Trump to be the nominee. I'd really prefer if he wasn't, but it's the unfortunate fact that that's who we have to deal with.
Okay. Well, I mean, there's some people who can't deal with that. Like, you know, like I'm in college. Well, I'm not in college currently, but I'm 22. So, like, you know, Donald Trump brags about sexually abusing women. You know, was found liable for sexually abusing a woman. Was defamed the woman he sexually abused twice. and is on audio talking about how, you know, when you're rich and famous, you can grab them by the blank. So like, I feel like the bar is in the ground. There's so many Republicans that I know who are voting for Harris because Trump it's not a party issue. Like, I would like to be able to go to my, you know, mom or my girlfriend or my sister or whoever in my life and say, you know, sexual abuse is wrong, and not turn on the TV and watch the Republican nominee brag about it. I don't want to be like in bars in college trying to party and think to myself that dudes feel empowered to grab women or do things to women, whatever they want, because the Republican nominee gets away with it. Right? This is bar on the ground type shit. This is, in my opinion, this is not like party line drawing exercises anymore.
Again, no, I agree with a lot of that stuff. Here's a question for you, though. Are you Democrat through and through? Like, there's nothing that would ever change your mind or sway your opinion from voting the other side?
No, I mean, I tend to like to think that I'm a person who, and I tell people this often, that like my views have changed a lot over just the 2 years that I've been on, or a year and a half or 2 years I've been on TikTok. I mean, I will listen to information and take that information and try to, you know, draw conclusions from that. So yeah, my mind could be changed, sure, but right now Donald Trump is a sexually abusing felon who is a fraud and a con man, and Democrats are not that.
Well, here, Harry, I'll ask you the same question. Are you Democrat through and through? Like, nothing would change your mind voting to the other side, or is there a point where you'd be able to resonate with the other side?
If we had like Donald Trump on the Democratic side, like someone who assaults women, breaks the law, commits a bunch of business fraud, does all of these awful things, and is like a narcissist like Trump is, then I wouldn't vote for that person.
Okay, that's fair.
So you similarly should not vote for that guy, because you have that guy. He's right over there. He's speaking right now. Montana, he's unhinged. So if you have that guy, you probably shouldn't vote for that guy.
So another issue, which it's not really talked about on either side that I see.
Just quickly, you didn't really address the whole thing about him like bragging about sexual abuse and how that could like empower young men to sexually abuse women, especially with their current like policy of like when a 7th grade girl in Mississippi is assaulted in her own backyard, she can't get an abortion. When someone, Deborah, gets pregnant for the second time and is 24 weeks pregnant in Florida with her husband, she has to carry the baby to term until the baby passes away on the table, and she falls into severe depression. When Kay Cox has an unviable pregnancy in Texas and is going to lose her life, she has to travel to a different state. So I just feel like you can say like, oh, it's hard for people, but like, it's not hard for us. It's just objectively not hard for us, but it is hard for people who like are being affected in a different type of way by Trump. And I just feel like you didn't address that.
No. And again, I don't support anything that he's convicted of or found civilly liable for. I have a daughter myself. Like, obviously, you know, if that was to happen to my daughter, I don't even know what I would do to said person. You know what I mean? Like, again, I don't support the actions by this man. I don't support a lot of the things that he says.
So you don't support his main idea that the election was stolen. That's dumb. And you agree that he's a convicted felon, and that he sexually abuses women, and he talks about people in horrible ways, and everybody around him, his hand-selected cabinet, all hate him and say he's a danger to democracy. But you're still, I'm not following the logic of why you'd still vote for him. That just makes no sense.
Again, it just mainly, I truly don't believe that the entire Republican Party has the same views and opinions as that man, and that's why my vote would go that way. So here's a question that, again, I don't know too much about this. I only know what's present in my life. I personally feel that some of these social services need to be revamped completely, like SNAP, Section 8, things of that nature. I think that stuff needs to be revamped and really looked at a lot more.
Like revamped how?
Right now, I don't think there's an initiative to get people, that are on those benefits to want to do better and get employment that to the point they won't need those benefits. I think it kind of enables laziness a little bit. Again, the initial purpose behind those programs is a wonderful thing. The way that it gets abused is not so good.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I guess again, like, I don't know that, I think zooming out a second, Republicans just don't want those benefits at all. They would just rather cut them all. I think that, like, I'm not sure it seems oddly anti-conservative to want, a welfare system or a system where the government is so involved in somebody's life that they meet the qualifications to get help, and then the government is, giving them programs to try to help them, get back on their feet. I'm not sure I'm not saying I don't support it. I'm just still trying to follow the logic train of, like, you're like, yeah, I think that, like, we should help people on welfare be able to, like, get jobs and stand up on their feet, which would require a lot more investment in things like social services. And you're voting for the party that hates social services.
Again, but I think that's just a mainstream opinion. Like I said, like, there's a lot of things that, we could agree on. We have a lot of the similar views. We just disagree on some things morally.
You mean like you and I?
Just Republicans and liberals, Democrats in general.
Okay. Yeah, that might be true.
I think as we start getting into a newer age of politics and younger people start getting voted into office, you'll see a much bigger change, and things will be quite united. Another question I had was about the climate agenda, and how the push for going, full electric by, what was it, 2030, 2035? I forget what the exact timeline was. But how is that going to save the planet from this terrible climate crisis that we have when China still has 1,100 coal-fired plants in operation? Their pollution is crazy. India still has, I forget the exact number. I think it's somewhere around 700 coal-fired plants still. How are, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, like, I mean, I appreciate being respectful up here and nuanced. Again, the current Republican Party and how it stands doesn't believe in climate change, so it's just an interesting question. But and again, I'm not saying you have to agree with everything just because he's Trump. But you just talked about, it feels like every single issue we've talked about has been, like, almost directly opposite of Trump for you. Yeah, so I think that, like, there's a lot of nuance in this. Number one is, like, we had a Paris Climate Accord that really got took a step back because Donald Trump pulled us out, and China was a country that most countries agreed to the Paris Climate Accord agenda of trying to lower CO2 emissions. I think that, part of what that showed is that the world is looking for the United States to lead this charge. And I think that it's going to become more clear over time in the next decade, how that happens. A lot of this is, like, a very aggressive initiative for, capitalism to do its part here. Part of Biden's agenda in $1 trillion, we have private companies trying to make, CO2 carbon capture devices where they can literally just capture carbon out of the air. Right now, if we had those mass deployed, they'd be worth more than our entire GDP. Right, completely way too expensive. But we've pumped a bunch of money into private companies to hope that they can figure out how to produce them in a cost-effective way. We have businesses pumping CO2 10,000 feet underground where they've turned into a half liquid, half solid. With the Biden administration, I assume, and playing some part in that in their investment in climate change and the electric vehicles, et cetera. And I think that, like, when you start to show countries like I think. We were on a good path with the Paris Climate Accord, but when we start to lead the charge and China starts to see, like, holy shit, this is going to be a really big economic opportunity, people who are producing these carbon capture devices or anything relating to climate are going to be pumping a bunch of money into the United States. We need to get on top of this or our economy will collapse. I think that they may start to fall in line.
I could agree with that, to an extent. And again, my current business, we do that with the CO2 where it's buried underground and whatnot.
Wait, really? That's dope.
Yeah. We're a very modern biogas engineering plant.
Wait, real quick, Harry, what did he say? Harry, what did he say?
Dude, I'm sorry. I'm just watching this guy speak. I'm just like, how does anybody watch this shit, dude? It's so bad.
It's actually impossible.
Oh my god. I'm trying. Oh my god, dude. Holy.
That was the week I left office. Look what happened after I left office.
Dude.
Let's listen to this for like 30 seconds.
Just listen to this guy talk for 30 seconds.
This is live.
This is live, by the way.
This is live. Yeah, this is live.
Of our country happened, but I took a look, and because I took that look, I mean, what are the chances of that? So I just want to thank everybody, because I'll tell you what, the level of love and compassion and all of the things that we all went through, that was a terrible thing. And we're going to be very careful. We have to be very careful. This is, by the way, being president is a dangerous profession. This is a very dangerous, this is not the safest profession out there, but it was an amazing event. And for those of you that don't believe in God, I believe that there's only one reason that could have happened, because the chances were so small.
Just want to wait. Hold on.
Yeah. Thank you.
I want to remind everyone for one more second. This is live in Montana.
Live happening right now.
Did he just say he doesn't believe in God?
And we're going back to Butler. You know that, right? We're going back to Butler. We got to go back. We got to go back to Butler. They were great. And the hospital was incredible. The doctors were incredible that worked on our two friends who were so badly hurt. The doctors were everything about it. And we're going to go back just before the election sometime in October. It's already being worked on. And I'll probably start off by saying, as I was saying, so you stand up. As I was saying, I gave Kamala and Crooked Joe a world at peace, and their weakness and incompetence quickly brought us to the brink of a global war. America cannot survive for 4 more years of this bumbling communist lunatic. Look, we cannot let her win this election. It's not a question of me. We can't let her win this election. If she wins this election, we're not going to have a country anymore. Starting on day one, we will bring competence and common sense back to the Oval Office.
Hey,
we're really a party of common sense, if you think. We're conservative and all that, but we're really a party of common sense.
Hold on.
And by the way, we have a great libertarian with us tonight. Where is our libertarian friend? And I think he's going to be with us. Where is he? What a nice guy. Will you stand up, please? Stand up. What a nice guy.
Does he not know his name?
I want to.
It's like when you don't know. Look at this guy. Look at it.
I know we can listen to this for a bit longer. It's kind of fun, but I also want to point out Trump has said now, you're bringing back. This is live in Montana. You're bringing back confidence. He said Kamala is dumb. He said that earlier, and then he's smart. I want to point out this is the guy who graduated from Wharton Business. This is my favorite quote ever about Trump. He graduated from Wharton Business School, and there's a longtime professor there, one of the most respected professors. He passed away, but he worked there for like 30 years. And his best friend came out and said, in an interview, my best friend told me every day, almost every single week working at Wharton, that, quote, Donald Trump is the dumbest goddamn student I've ever had. And he's like, I could hear the inflection in his voice. He probably told me 100+ times every week. Donald Trump is the dumbest goddamn student I've ever had. And that's my funniest Trump against quote. Josh, hey, buddy, how about let's listen for 60 seconds and see if we can spot any comments.
Have you seen how long I've been on the feed for?
Josh, shut the hell up or you're going to get kicked out, all right, buddy?
Have you seen how long I've been on the feed for? Listen to you.
Can I just ask one last question here?
Vice President, she went with the hand-picked candidate of crazy Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders wanted him so badly, and the Democratic Socialists of America immediately gave him the endorsement. Forget him. That's her thinking. That's where she's going to go. A politician, when they came out, if Steve Daines came out and said 20 years ago when he started, I wanted to fund the police. I don't think he's saying that. I wanted to fund the police, everybody. Then he said, well, I was only kidding. I don't. The truth is, when you come out with a statement like that, that's where you are. And she wants to defund the police, and she wants to have all of your guns taken away.
She was a prosecutor.
She wants your guns taken away. You can count on it. A politician, their first statement, Steve, is always the statement. Now, Steve said, I'm going to protect your Second Amendment. That was a long time ago. He said, I'm going to take care of our police. Right, Steve? I just don't want to leave any question in their mind, Steve. He's so happy I did that little second part. He said, oh, my God, they might think I want to defend. Steve is never, he's not a big defender.
All right, I pause this for a second. By the way, I was just
oh, my God, did you hear that? Did you hear that? He said,
what did he say?
He said, Steve is not a defender. He's an increaser. This guy doesn't say
please run that back. Please play that. Please run that back.
I swear to God.
Go back. Just run that back for a second.
Wait, I don't think I can go back. I can't go back.
Wait, is it live? Is that like is that caught up?
Yeah, it's caught up. I can't go back. Oh wait.
All right, so yeah, you guys are sitting there talking to Cameron about being a fucking.
Hold on, Cameron has one more question to ask, and then you can go. All right, relax, Josh. Go ahead, Cameron. One more question.
Yeah. So I'm genuinely curious about this. I haven't done enough research on it to really, what the right approach is. But because of the war over in Russia and Ukraine, obviously Russia was a big importer of gas or oil for gas production. Yeah, right, crude oil.
Yeah.
I understand that we're drilling more oil now than we ever have in American history. A lot of that takes place in the county that I live in, Pennsylvania, right? But how do we get ahead of the deficit? Like, how do we get ahead without importing the amount of oil that we did from Russia when that's no longer a stream? Because I don't see. What's that?
Well, first of all, Russia only accounted for 8% of our oil imports, so it wasn't that much. The majority of oil we import, I believe, comes from Canada. Second of all, renewable energy. We can become like the most energy independent country on the earth. We're already energy independent right now, but the most energy independent on earth times a million if we make enough investments in renewable energy, and our energy reserves are going up right now because of our investments in renewable energy.
Really?
By the way, of course, we pause right when he says that Tim Walz put tampons in boys' bathrooms and signed laws that said you could kidnap children in Minnesota.
Okay.
Right, just right. No, they should run on this. They should run on this. This will be good for them. I promise.
We're the most independent. The energy independent country, but where are we getting all our energy from?
Josh, you
we're not getting oil. Where's the energy come from?
Josh, can you let Josh before you have a MAGA freak out and have like a breakdown live on air? Can you just let Cameron like finish his thought, and then I told you we can go to you?
No, my guy, I'm not even a Trump fan, my guy. But you're sitting here spilling lies.
Are you going to vote for Trump?
Josh,
hey, buddy, are you going to vote for Trump?
Come from?
Are you going to vote for Trump? Are you going to vote for Trump?
No, I'm not voting for anybody because they all suck.
Then why the hell are you up here?
We're gonna let.
Because I'm pointing out that all you guys suck.
We're trying to talk to Trump supporters, buddy. So take your anger to somebody else. Go scream at the wall. Go scream at the corner.
Josh,
go scream at the corner, buddy. We're trying to talk to Trump supporters here.
Wait, Josh, can I ask you a question? You know that,
buddy, we'll debunk you in a second. But please just let Cameron finish his fucking thought for 5 seconds. Cameron, do you have anything else to say?
You guys are sitting there bullying everybody.
Josh, shut the hell up, buddy. We'll mute you. I'll mute you if I have to. I don't want to do it. Cameron, do you have anything else to say?
Yeah, again, like I work in renewable energy and I like the approach to it, but like my thing is, what are we going to do to make up the deficit? Even though if Russia only accounted for 8% of oil imports, right? We still need to combat the high gas prices. I mean, I know a lot of that is price gouging from the major oil companies, but we still need to make up for that 8% deficit to get ahead of the curve and lower gas prices. Like
8%. We're doing that right now by drilling more oil than we ever have before and investing in renewable energy. That 8% is like the reason that gas prices are still higher than they might have been at some point is not because of the United States and a lack of investment in energy. It's because the global supply is still not where it is. We still have more work to do when it comes to drilling, and the supply has to be and the price of a barrel of oil in the market still has to come down a little bit, but we're getting there. It's work in progress.
Right. No, my thing is, I think we need to expand on how much we're importing from other countries to make up that deficit and get ahead a little bit, and then increase our drilling production here to maintain a safe margin.
We're
that way, if something like this. What's that?
We're doing both those things.
Well,
so thank you, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, right?
No, I agree with that. But this was just a question that I didn't know, a solid answer to. Where are we importing the oil from to make up that deficit?
Yeah. So, well, it's not really that we're importing oil to make up for the deficit. Imports have just increased over the years, as they do naturally, as they have over time. But the investments in renewable energy and the fact that we're drilling more here in the United States and producing here more in the United States has made up for that by a lot. But again, it's not necessarily that the issue that with the surrounding prices is not whether we have made up for it, it's whether the global supply has made up for a reduction, not only because of the Russia-Ukraine war, but of course, COVID and everything like that.
Yeah, and I also think that it's going to take, like Harry's saying, it'll be over time and it'll become more clear with like what happens with Russia, right? So, Germany.
It's been 4 years. How much more time?
Josh,
if you don't, Josh, if you do that one more time, bro. I will kick you so quickly and I'll never let you back up here.
Well, because you let me in and then now I can't say anything.
And I told you like 5 times now that be quiet until Cameron's gone and then you can scream your face off as much as you want.
I'm not screaming.
So Cameron, I think that like it'll become more clear with like how the Russia war, what happens and a lot of our European counterparts. It'll become, they play a huge role, right? When Germany is getting 90 at the time, like 80 or 90%, I don't know the exact number. They're getting the vast majority of their oil from Russia. And then, the war starts, that was a big deal for them. And that was a massive logistical feat for Germany to start setting up ports to, import oil from the United States and other places. And so like, as our major allies also have had a major challenge, especially in Europe, trying to navigate around Russia, I think it'll be more clear as hopefully we work toward like the end to that war. And Josh, really quickly, so throughout all of American history, like the Trump presidency, for example, we could be drilling enough to be solely energy independent. Like the term energy independent means like we have enough oil, we can drill enough oil to solely, take care of ourselves. But we've never done that, and we've never been interested in doing that. We actually take some of our oil and sell it to other countries, and then we buy it back at a cheaper rate because it makes us money. If you want to go look up the economics as to why we don't just purely supply ourselves, you can. But I'd also suggest, I don't know, to fucking calm down, or your arteries are gonna your heart's gonna explode. You're freaking out.
All right, Cameron, we'll leave it there, man. All right, sound good?
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. You guys.
Hey, Cameron, thanks for being respectful, man. I appreciate it.
Have a good rest of your night, all right?
I think we need to have more conversations like this with people that have opposing views and come and find a middle ground, because that's the only way that we're going to move forward as a country.
There you go, man. I like it. All right, man. Have a good rest of your night, all right?
Be safe, man. Savannah, thanks for $5 on Cash App, by the way. Cameron's a great guy. I'll have a good convo. Cameron was a great guy, Savannah. And thank you so much for $5 on Cash App. That goes a super long way. I don't take that for granted. Jason, thank you so much for $25 on Venmo. Can I get a huge W in the chat? Again, I want to say, like, this is something I do not take for granted. It goes such a long way. Jason, thank you for everything you do for our country. Harry and Chris will be on the ticket one day, and I'll vote for you 1,000%. By the way, that Asian dude, Eli, we don't claim him. And I'm Asian American, and that was some pure weird stuff he was talking. Well, listen, Jason, thank you so much for the super kind words for Harry and I. It truly goes a long way. If you're down there, I'd love to follow you. Thank you so much. And James, thank you for $10 on Venmo for being awesome. James, if you're down there, I'd love to follow you. You're awesome. You're beautiful. Josh, thanks for the cent. Can you start your own live? Like your lives better than Harry's. We do live sometimes, but Harry's
hey, buddy, get the hell out of my live. Whoever that guy is, get the hell out of my live.
Josh, you're too kind. I appreciate that.
I won't ever do a live because
I appreciate the cent. And lastly,
what's this guy yapping for? Dude?
I don't know, bro. I appreciate. Lastly, I appreciate Trayvon, I believe, for $5 on Cash App. Can I get a W Trayvon in the chat? If you're down there, I'd love to make sure I'm following you, and my DMs are always open. I would like to make sure I follow people.
Yes, you guys
thank you.
Me out, so
thank you so much, Trayvon. Much love. Hope you're doing well.
Dude, you're not getting suppressed. Dude, we're just trying to. Just because you're having like a breakdown on my live stream, I won't even read my donations until after you're gone, because you're gonna. Dude, if you have to wait any more time to say like your 5 IQ takes, you're gonna freak the hell out. So what do you want to say, buddy?
It's been about like 15 minutes, but I'm not.
What do you want? What do you want? What do you want?
Not even. Yeah, you guys are crazy. Like, all right.
What do you want, dude? What do you want to say? You've been like trying to, you've been like screaming this entire time. What do you want?
I've ever met, dude. Stop freaking out and just say what you want to say.
I'm the softest individual you ever met, but I'll smack the shit out you. Shut up.
Look, you see, you are soft. See, you are soft. If you have to go to something like that, you have to be soft.
You're threatening to beat people up on the fucking internet. I think that proves my fucking point.
That literally proves his point. Thank you.
Holy shit. So you're like, you're crying over there. You get a little snowflake up here.
Stop crying. Abu. Stop crying, Abu.
You're just gonna cancel out everything I say?
No, we're telling you go. Say what you want to say. Go.
I was saying what I wanted to say.
Josh, I just want to say quickly.
Blocking out what I was trying to say.
Josh, you're not
just
a victim.
say what you want to say.
You're not a victim.
My
Nobody's
God.
trying to suppress you. Nobody's trying to suppress you. You're not a victim.
My
You can sit up
God.
here and cry and say, no one will let me talk. Nobody gives a fuck. We're going to mute our mics for 5 minutes. You're going to say the worst goddamn thing I've ever heard, and we'll yell at you. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah. All right. So you guys are sitting there arguing with this dude about what was it, abortion and the death penalty. What's the difference? All right. Yeah. See, I'm more libertarian. I don't give a shit. You do whatever the fuck you want to do. Like if you want to abort a baby, whatever, abort a baby. But I'm still pro death penalty because, all right, I still think it's fucked up that you kill a baby that never had a chance, that never even like had the chance to be able to be born. And then you let these fucking people that kill people and molest children and shit like that. We're just okay with them living. Right.
So, Josh, a couple things here, buddy. So the 7th grade girl in Mississippi who was assaulted in her own backyard and had to carry the baby to term and dropped out of the 7th grade to do online school. Did she ever have a chance, or did her family ever have a chance, or does she have to deal with that?
I'm sorry, I'm ignorant in the subject that you're talking about.
So we're gonna talk about, you know, so like you can keep talking about how like babies never had a chance, but you know, women have a right to do what they want with their bodies, and there's a bunch of women around the country who don't get a chance because they're forced to carry a baby to term. So there's a 7th grade girl in Mississippi who was raped in her own backyard and couldn't get an abortion because of Mississippi's abortion law. Does her life matter?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's lives matter. I'm not saying.
So should she have been able to get an abortion?
Should
she? That's great. So should she have been able to get an abortion?
It depends on the circumstances. I mean, yeah.
Okay, so I just told you a real no. So again, we're losing empathy because we're over a phone. This is a real life circumstance with a real 7th grade girl and a real family who had to go through this. So I told you the circumstance that is happening as we speak. So should she have been able to get an abortion?
I got to look more into it and see what actually happened. Like,
well, that's what actually happened. What about Deborah, who is 22 weeks?
Because you feel strongly about something doesn't make you morally right. Like, you can feel strongly about something. It doesn't make you. You can sit there and cry your fucking face off, and it doesn't make you morally right about something.
I think it's morally bankrupt for you to think that the 7th grade girl should not have gotten an abortion or be medically necessary, as Ali Phillips says in the chat.
Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, because what about Deborah, who is 20? What about Deborah, who is 20? What about Deborah, who is 22 weeks pregnant in Florida with her 2nd child, trying to get pregnant, and she learned her child had a fatal defect. 2 doctors recommended she got an abortion. That claim was denied. She carried the baby all the way to term, knowing the baby would not survive. Fell into a severe depression, in pain, at another child she couldn't take care of, and then the baby was born, and she watched the baby pass away on the table, survive for 2 hours, struggling to breathe. Deborah's life was significantly impacted. She has literal PTSD over that. So did Deborah deserve a chance, or do you just get to tell Deborah what she wants? Because it sounds like you're.
Why are you so angry?
Because you're morally bankrupt and you're being disingenuous.
I told you that I'm libertarian. Like, I don't.
Okay, so you should just get that. If you're not voting for anyone, I don't know why you're up here. You just. It just sounds like you like to just be angry.
No, you're all full of shit. You're sitting there, and what was that you said?
All right, that's great. You're not voting for anybody?
Party, right? You said country over party, right?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, so what about your fucking morally corrupt fucking party?
What's morally corrupt about voting for Vice President Kamala Harris?
Do what?
What's morally corrupt about voting for Vice President Kamala Harris?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe like whatever she was. What was the attorney general over there in California or some shit like that? She was hiding evidence against people that were
not true.
You know, on the death penalty. It's not true. Are you telling me right now?
By the way, that individual in question,
shit, Harry.
You don't even see. You're so angry. You don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. That guy, Kamala Harris, called for expanded testing, including DNA testing. It was done, and any investigation, any further testing for that case, reaffirmed the guy's guilt.
That's okay. But you remember, you said earlier.
So he's still on death row right now, or he's still in prison because he's still guilty.
You remember you said country over party. Remember that.
Yeah, and I'm asking you, what's not putting the country over the party when you're voting for Kamala Harris? What's bad about that? What's morally bankrupt?
All the bullshit
agenda. Like what?
Like when it comes to all this fucking trans shit and
okay. See, it always comes back to this, don't it? It always comes back to this, don't it?
Josh, this is real libertarian shit.
Josh came in here. He's like, what oppressed group can I pick on today? What group needs more treatment for me?
Nobody thinks that there should be a smaller. Josh thinks that the government. Josh thinks the government.
Hey, numbnuts. Trans people are more likely to kill themselves because they're not accepted by their friends, family, and loved ones. They're more likely to suffer from depression and anxiety and things like that. They're more likely to be discriminated against in workplaces and schools because nobody accepts them in their area because for who they are. Don't talk to me about the nobody's discriminated or oppressed numbnuts. What are you, like a straight white guy with a straight white family, buddy? Give me a fucking break.
Josh, that's why the Biden.
They have a month. We all think that veterans should be taken care of. Joe Biden expanded veterans with the PACT Act. Now over 1.2 million people have signed up for that program. Republicans voted against that bill and then fist bumped on the floor by doing it.
You're silly. You're fucking.
I'm sorry. Do you disagree with the PACT Act,
bro? You sit there. You fucking.
Hey, numbnuts. I'm asking you a question. Do you disagree with the PACT Act?
Numbnuts. Keep the fucking.
Bro. Yes or no?
Yeah. Stay mad, buddy. Do you disagree with the PACT Act?
I'm ignorant to that subject.
All right.
You don't even.
Right. So you think people,
don't talk to me about veterans if you don't even know what's going on with veterans,
you
dude.
think Democrats don't? You don't think
veterans?
Hey, Josh.
I just asked you about the largest expansion of veterans health care in like a century, and you go, I'm ignorant on the topic.
Yeah, because I don't look the shit up. I'm not looking up.
So then Josh, I have an idea. First of all, as you talk about Democrats' agenda, that was part of their agenda, and they passed the largest expansion of veterans health care we've seen in decades. And you know what Harry, you know what I think? Harry, you know what I think? Josh, because you're ignorant, Josh, buddy, because you're ignorant to literally every single subject we talk about here, and it just sounds like you want to be angry about fucking nothing. And
you just want to scream about something.
You're definitely not a libertarian, considering you're angry. You want to control trans people who just want to live their lives. I think you should just get the hell out alive and go spend like the rest of your night Googling stuff. Maybe Econ 101, History 101, Biden administration agenda.
It's crazy because I feel like the only enemy of the LGBTQ community is the LGBTQ community. Like they only fight themselves.
No, that makes perfect sense. So when you have like these Republican legislators trying to make it impossible for trans people to receive gender-affirming care, it's definitely them that their own worst enemy, right? It's not these freaks like you who believe in misinformation and are once again going to say I'm ignorant on this topic, who are definitely not the people who are stopping progress on the issue.
It's crazy that somebody whenever you bring up a subject, it's crazy that somebody will be like, all right, I'm not educated on this subject. I probably need to go, do some more research on it. So that makes me stupid because you guys start bringing up subjects.
When you pretend to know about something, no, not knowing about something does not make you stupid.
Everybody else that you're talking to.
You're coming up here and targeting trans people. Don't talk to me about bullying. Okay, when you're coming up here and talking about a topic, you're saying like, veterans. And then we're saying, hey, are you aware of the largest expansion of veterans healthcare in a very long time? You're like, I don't know. Then you do not know enough about the topic. And for you to come up here and claim that you know so much and be so ignorant does make you unintelligent. Same with being with the transgender community and LGBTQ plus issues. You don't know what gender affirming care is. You're going to say that, that the kids are receiving surgeries or it's this or that. They're shoving it down your throat. You're going to give all the typical talking points, and you're not going to know what the hell you're talking about. So yes, you are ignorant. Yes, you are unintelligent, and I'm sorry that I'm the one who's delivering the bad news to you.
Yeah, Josh, it's not really. It's not really fair.
No bad news, my guy.
Yeah,
you're like very small man. You're this small. You're this small.
Josh, it's not like again. You're just like
small
I've never seen a bigger.
I bet small say it to my
face. Josh,
very small man. Very small man. You're very insecure. Very small.
Josh, I get you, Josh. It seems like you're like the biggest victim I've ever met because not only have you you're like, oh my god, you come up here and you're like, you guys are so full of shit and you're getting angry. Can I finish? You're literally crying up here being like,
45 minutes of fucking ranting over here.
Mute this guy.
Oh, that's too bad because I can mute you, buddy. It's too bad. What a terrible thing.
I just want to say, Josh, before you get fucking booted because you're annoying. You're just crying, and you come up here and you go, you're so full of shit. You guys have no idea what you're talking about. And then when you say Democrats don't care about veterans because they're doing something, and we mentioned the largest expansion of veterans healthcare, and you say, oh, I don't know about that, and you continue to get angry, yeah, that's not bullying. If somebody wants to come up here and say, oh, we have so many good conversations with Trump supporters, Democrats, people who say, hey, I don't really know that much, et cetera, and we talk to them, we learn some things, they learn some things, super respectful. There's nothing wrong with being not informed. We're not trying to bully you. a level of such low emotional intelligence to project and say, oh, you guys are stupid and dumb, when I guarantee you, if you got unmuted right now, I'd pray on my life that you'd know the 3 branches of government. You're not allowed to come up here and scream and call people pieces of shit and then say, oh, I'm ignorant on literally every subject ever. That's called weaponized incompetence. So, Josh, we're going to do this. You can stay in the live for like, we'll give you 5 extra minutes if you unmute and name the 3 branches of government.
And how many? Go ahead.
Please.
Go ahead,
I'm gonna
Josh.
cross my fingers.
And then I have a follow-up question of my own. So if you can answer, but he left. All right, right. Yeah, that's what I thought. No, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
It's just like, it's literally weaponizing competence. You can't do, it's like such a victim complex. You can't be like, oh, you can't come up here and be like, oh, they're treating me like shit and
they're so mean to me.
They're bullying me. And you came up here and you're oh, you guys are full of shit. You guys are you're the worst people ever. I know way more than
dude. He goes, these guys are bullying me. They're being so mean to me. But trans people, and then he starts to bully them. It's like, what the? Yeah, shut the hell up, dude. Don't talk to. Don't come in my life. Fuck out of here, bro. Get the hell out of my life. Leah, thank you for the $1 saying for Josh's tissues. He's going to need a bunch of boxes, many boxes. Mason, thank you for the $5 saying I'm transgender. I'm rushing to get gender affirming surgeries in case Trump wins. People have no idea how difficult this life is. Thank you for standing up for my community. Done to dumbass Josh. You inspire me and so many other people. Kamala for the people. Hell yeah, Mason. Listen, I hope you get everything that you need. I'm hoping for you, for real. And man, what a scary time it is to live. But people like Josh, people like Josh feel it's easier to pick on marginalized communities, people who are already targeted, than just like go to therapy and like work on himself. He just thinks it's a more difficult task. Trista, thank you for the $5. I appreciate you saying love you. Appreciate it so much. Thank you for being here. D. Earl, thank you for the $2 saying Cameron sounds like a Democrat. Ask him if he doesn't want to vote Democrat because she's a biracial woman. Well, unfortunately, he left by this point. So, but I appreciate the question regardless. Jason, my man, JW, I know who you are. Thank you for the $25 saying, thanks for all that you do, my guy. You know I love you and Chris. We love you, JW, my man. Thank you so much, Jason. Thank you for being here. Timothy, thank you for the $5. I appreciate that. Saying, are you going to the DNC? Find out soon. Amanda, thank you for the $20 saying, you give me hope. Why not discuss corporate profit impact on inflation? It's a good point. It's a very good point. Henry, thank you for the $50 on Venmo. We need some W. Henrys in the chat right now. I need at least 50 W. Henrys. Thank you so much, my man, for being here and for your ongoing support. Man, that's so kind. I appreciate it so much, Henry. And Tara, thank you for the $50 as well, saying always appreciate what you do, friend. Keep it up. Can we get some W. Taras and some W. Henrys in the chat for back-to-back 50s? Are you kidding me? What the hell? Shout out you guys. I appreciate you guys so much. And then finally, Ernesto, thank you for the $1. I appreciate you. What the hell is this? Chris? Oh, Ernesto, thank you for the $1. Nira, thank you for the $5. I appreciate you educating people. It goes a long way. Thank you, Nira. I appreciate you being here. Diana, thank you for the $50 on Cash App, saying for love your posts and live. Keep up the good work. Can we please get some W Dianas in the chat as well? Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're amazing. W Diana, W Tara, and W Henry. Please, I mean, seriously, run it up all in the chat. Edwin, thank you for the $15 as well. Nicola, thank you for the $2. Sheris, thank you for the $5. Tashika, thank you for the $5. I appreciate you so much. Joe Vera, thank you for the $25 as well, my man. I appreciate you so much. And finally, Desta, thank you for the $5. Sorry, everybody. We had a lot of people to go through because what's his face was going to explode if I did any more.
Meg, thank you so much for $20 on Venmo. Thank you for sticking up for the LGBTQ plus people and women. You're amazing. Meg, you're amazing. If you're down there, I'd love to follow you. Thank you so much for the kind words. And Harry and I always say, like, we don't take you guys for granted. It's incredible. Every single person, not just, people who are liking lives, commenting. I know there's people, watching right now who are just laying in bed, just enjoy listening, even if you're not tapping the screen, just listening. We love you so much and we appreciate you. And if our DMs are always open. And by the way, if you haven't checked out Harry's most recent YouTube video, there's going to be a link in his bio. If you click his bio, there's going to be a link right down there. I'm sure it's a killer video. You guys should go check it out.
Thanks. All right, Venmo Cash App in the link in bio for me if you want to support. Chris's Venmo and Cash App is the exact same as his TikTok username. And of course, drop a follow if you haven't already. We do these lives all the time. And of course, follow Chris. He posts videos and does lives as well. Jana, thank you for the subscription. This guy's cooked. Lil Trump, you got to come back on the TikTok live, buddy, for me to hear you. Come here. Come on. If you don't do it in like 10 seconds, I'm gone. Moving on to somebody else. Oh, you're back. Hello?
How you guys doing?
How old are you?
Howdy.
No, how old are you?
Sorry? 18.
18. And what year were you born?
2005.
I think like a 9-second delay. What's going on here?
This guy got Mac Wi-Fi possibly.
Sorry. So, how are you guys doing?
We're good. How are you, man?
Okay. I wanted to talk to you about. Let's just start off. Well, how do you feel Harris is better than Trump? Like, what are some good things that Harris has done?
Tara, $25 on Venmo. Thank you, Chris. You're so appreciative. Tara W in the chat. Thank you so much. Like, I do not take that for granted. Incredible, incredible. Thank you for the kind words. I appreciate you.
Better record, better person, better leader, more experienced.
Okay, thank you. But I want to talk about, at first, let's go abortion, one of the most controversial issues. I would be in support of what Trump is going for in abortion. Like a lot of people say he's trying to ban abortion, get rid of it, but he's actually not. Right now, he's made talking points during the debate and many other times. He overturned Roe v. Wade, giving the right back to the states to decide, and that's really as far as he's going. I would be in support of that, would you?
Why would you? No. Why would you be in support of it being on a state level?
It just kind of gives the right more back to the people of the state to decide on what they want.
Yeah, but why should people of the state decide this for other women?
It's just honestly giving it to the state. I don't really want to. I'm not really sure, but
like, don't you think that like women having
states, like every state should have the right to know what they want, whatever is voted for. If people are pro-abortion, people are anti-abortion, whatever the majority of the state would be. Honestly,
yeah, but don't you think that like women deserve the right to make choices for their bodies regardless of what state they're in? Because then we have the situation where a woman in New York has more rights than a woman in Texas, and I don't think that's right.
Yes, but I mean, personally, I would be anti-abortion, but
so do you support, like, when you say, like, you know, the handing it back to the states? So, like, Mississippi has a complete and total abortion ban, and I've said multiple times on this live that there's a 7th-grader in Mississippi who was assaulted in her own backyard and unable to get an abortion. Is that a policy you support?
I mean, personally, I would support a ban of abortion, but not total ban. Cases rape, cases like rape, or things like with really high complications on a child, I would actually kind of rather have an abortion for that.
So it sounds like you don't support the Republican policy on abortion then, because that would be Mississippi, that would be women like Kate Cox in Texas who almost lost her life when she had non-viable pregnancy, Deborah in Florida who almost lost her life. I'm in Georgia. We have a 6-week abortion ban. We have one of the highest maternal mortality rates in the country, and a lot of women are driving well over an hour to see an OBGYN because a lot of our doctors, OBGYN offices have gotten up and they've left the state because they're scared to be criminalized. I heard a story from a state rep who I actually volunteered for, who had her 3rd child, and the doctor she'd been going to, she showed up and the doctor said, "We can't give any advice about this. We're not, providing services anymore." And the woman I worked for essentially was lost, didn't know what to do. OBGYNs are not just something, that's women's healthcare. It's not just when you're pregnant. And so, like, if we don't agree with all of those things, then it just sounds like we don't agree with the Republican policy on abortion. And even if, it's not about rape, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Just as a woman, you have a fundamental right to have an abortion, and that should be, federal law.
Yeah, I would agree with, personally, just Trump. Like Trump himself, he said he only wants to give it back to the states. He's not trying to go total ban. I mean, personally, total ban, yeah, it's stupid, and I think it should be more limited. I think it should be a choice if they want not total ban, if they would want partial bans with anyone has a choice to do it, or only complications, or only rape cases, like that man that raped the kid in the backyard. That guy should, going to the death penalty to you guys were talking about earlier. Honestly, I think death penalty to people like that should be a thing. And you were saying it costs more. They got lethal injections and stuff. Sorry.
Yeah, sure. Sorry, I didn't mean to run through. I mean, why should a woman not be able to have an abortion just if she, gets pregnant, if she engages in sex and gets pregnant on accident? Why can't she get an abortion then?
Honestly,
like what if she's using contraceptives and the contraceptives fail, because sometimes they do? Why can't she get an abortion?
If she's has all the right protection, has the she's on meds to not get pregnant. I mean, stuff happens. If she goes through with it, honestly, I think if she really doesn't want the kid, she should put up for adoption. But like, I was born, my mother was on meds, still failed. But I mean, I want to be here if she did have an abortion. So it's just kind of, yeah. But
oh, okay. I mean, yeah. I just think that, like, you know, if a woman gets pregnant, is not intending to get pregnant and gets pregnant, like, I think that she should. There should be no reason why she doesn't have the right to terminate that pregnancy up to whatever point. Yeah, obviously, like, I don't think that. I know some people in the comments say your actions have consequences. That's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. And I don't have to go into all the times that you, engage in something knowing the consequences, but don't accept, you driving a car. I assume a lot of people driving cars every day and take on the risk. The consequences of a drunk driver hitting you head on. That doesn't mean you accept the fact that if you were laying there and needed medical attention, that, oh, well, we're not going to help you because you knew the consequences of getting in a car. That's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. And it's also misogynistic as hell. And to the other point of, why not put it up for adoption again? Like, it's just like, these are, again, in a country that has the highest maternal mortality rate in the developed world, Georgia has the highest maternal mortality rate in the country. And our doctors are leaving because of these abortion bans. It is such an intensive process to go through a pregnancy for 9 months. And imagine how terrifying it is to do that normally with good healthcare, but with really horrible healthcare in this country for women. That's a really big feat to just be like, oh, well, you just put up for adoption. It's fine. It's fine. We don't want to kill, we don't want to kill the baby. So just put up for adoption. We'll figure it out later. I mean, you're asking women to do a lot. You're asking women to risk their body, risk their life, risk their financials, their health care, just because you feel, again, I think it's her body. And especially with shitty health care in this country for women right now, because of Republican abortion ban. I don't know. I don't like that argument.
Yeah, I could agree on some of that stuff. But I'm going to change the subject, if you guys wouldn't mind, about Trump's conviction on the affair he had with Stormy Daniels, whatever. Honestly, I don't think even happened. Like, her personally, she said in a signed letter, January 10th, 2018, she said, quote, "I recently became aware that certain news outlets are alleging that I had a sexual and or romantic affair. I am starting with a complete clarity that this is absolutely false rumors, that I have received hush money from Donald Trump are completely false." I mean,
save the time, buddy. She revoked that statement.
Doesn't matter if you revoke it and you say whatever, it didn't happen. She still said it.
Yeah, but that's not how the legal system works. So
it's
just because she signed,
how the legal system works, it was part of the hush money agreement.
Yeah, just because she signed, yeah, exactly. Not only was it part of the hush money, but yeah, it has no bearing on the legal process.
Well, yeah, she said that she writ that, and she only said it didn't happen because she signed a contract, NDA, that she couldn't. She said
as part of the illegal hush money scheme. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's what she says. But again, Trump never signed that. There was a contract, but it was never signed by Trump. It was only agreed on one party, and you need two parties to actually agree on the thing to.
No, there was an agreement in place for Stormy Daniels to be paid off for her silence.
I don't know what there was. The NDA was certainly signed by both parties. I mean,
yeah.
It probably wasn't Trump himself. I'm sure it was. Maybe it was. I don't know. I can go find the NDA.
Let's see. Is Law of the Wild here?
Where is he? What a beautiful guy.
Where's Law of the Wild? Well, I mean, it was signed by
somebody.
It was, and the agreement was that. Well, we know the agreement. It was so that Stormy Daniels would be quiet. It was part of the NDA, part of the harsh money agreement that she would sign that and things like that. And it was done through Michael Cohen, Donald Trump's lawyer. Michael Cohen paid Stormy Daniels the money. Then Trump, quote unquote, reimbursed him for that money and gave him a bonus and gave him some tax benefits and things of that nature.
Actually, I just found I just found the agreement to wire the $130,000 to Stormy Daniels, and it is Peterson in that letter is identified as a pseudonym for Daniels. The identity for Denson is redacted in later court filings, but Daniels' attorney later says it was the name used by Trump. The agreement bears the signatures of Daniels, Davidson, and Cohen. But the signature for Dennison is blank, aka Trump. So Trump's attorney signed it, and Daniels signed it, and Daniels' attorney signed it.
Cohen claims to have like his say to sign it for Trump and everything, but like Cohen's been caught lying on trial over a dozen times. I mean, he's not really a reliable source to actually do it. And the jury that was made up 86.4% Democrat in the Manhattan.
So, well, a couple things here. Number one, if you don't want a trial in Manhattan, don't commit crimes in Manhattan. And if you can give me a good legal reason why it shouldn't be in Manhattan, I'd love for you to do that. Number two, if we do basic math, according to your 86% number and statistics, there should be 1 to 2 Trump supporters on that jury anyway. And one of the jurors said that he followed Trump on Truth Social, and that's where he got a lot of his news. So you can have an opinion about Michael Cohen's, he said that he had, stolen money from Trump. I don't think that relates to this case. And I think that also really goes to show, for example, that, Trump, when you're a con man and your business does illegal things, you tend to hire people who are also con men and do illegal things like steal money. So, but yeah, the unbiased jury of ordinary Americans, including Trump supporters, seem to be fine with Cohen's testimony. And it's really the defense's job to try to sow reasonable doubt, and they didn't do that.
Yeah, I mean, even having, like, say, a statistic, say 86%, you're supposed to have so many people that are pro-Trump or whatever.
So what's the so again, so obviously, like, the prosecution and the defense, they both had the opportunity. They had a certain amount of vetoes and had the opportunity essentially to pick the jury. Donald Trump's own defense attorney said, Trump was a huge part of the jury selection, and that went on for a while with the jury or the defense, the prosecution arguing about who is appropriate to be on the jury and who's not, using their vetoes, etc. So what's the legal reason that Trump should, because if I went and committed a crime in Manhattan right now, my trial would be in Manhattan. So why is Trump special? What's the legal reason for Trump to not have his case in Manhattan where he committed the crime?
I just felt like it was just majority Democratic.
That's not a good legal reason.
Yeah.
There's no legal viability. If you commit a crime in Manhattan, your case is in Manhattan. Trump made one appeal one motion to the judge where he said, I think my case should be moved. And he said, because of media attention, there's way too much media coverage around this. And the judge replied, well, that's interesting because you're the one who every single day leading up to this trial and during the trial have sat in front of my courtroom and set up fences where the media can stand so you can speak every single morning to the media before you come in. So you can't cause a media firestorm and then request to move because of the media firestorm that you caused. Denied. That sounds pretty reasonable to me.
Yeah, I'd say so. I'm not honestly too into it, so I'm not gonna.
No, I mean that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, but if you wouldn't mind, again going on to. Again, it was a Biden era thing, but Kamala was his VP, and she kind of seconds and agrees with everything he does. But with the withdrawal of Afghanistan, would you want to move into that?
Wait, withdrawal of what?
With the withdrawal of Afghanistan, when we left Afghanistan, leaving billions of dollars.
Wait, hold on, really quickly. I'm sorry. I think. Can you say the country's name one more time?
Afghanistan.
Okay. Yeah, what about it?
What?
It's Afghanistan.
Just the
not
D.
Afghanistan.
There's just a D at the end. That's all. It's okay. It's not a big deal. It's okay. You've been
not a big deal.
You've been very respectful up here. Like, I'm not trying to.
Chris and I are maybe just.
We're just fucking annoying. We're being assholes. I'm sorry. Go listen.
Yeah, Chris. What the hell?
The withdrawal of Afghanistan. What's your just like what? I'm sorry. What was the question? Maybe I'll let Harry answer this one.
It's just since
let Harry answer this one.
I've been yapping. Go ahead.
This guy's such a piece of trash, everybody. Not you, this guy, Chris Mowry down here is a terrible guy. Go ahead.
But since Harris was a VP of Biden, she kind of seconds and agrees with everything Biden does, and she has vocally said that she agrees with what Biden says. The withdrawal of Afghanistan, leaving billions of dollars in military equipment to the Taliban, giving them
take care of that.
Basically, top-of-the-line technology, night vision, guns, armored equipment, ATVs. 12 American soldiers died withdrawing when the
13.
past 6 months. Past 6 months, there wasn't a single American that died under Trump. It was kind of a shit show. How do you guys feel on that?
Yeah, so it was such a mess because of Donald Trump, funnily enough. The agreement that we negotiated to get out of Afghanistan was called the Doha Accords. It was an agreement that was signed by the Trump administration and the Taliban at the time, so that the United States would withdraw. It included like a ceasefire until we did. The problem is that the deal is really bad. It left out the Afghan army at the time, which was the current governing body. And for some reason, we just negotiated with the Taliban. And then so Joe Biden took office, and Joe Biden was left in a really bad position because of this really bad deal. And basically his generals came to him and said, look, either we deploy like 40,000 more American troops to Afghanistan so we can protect ourselves when the ceasefire concludes, or we can still push forward with the withdrawal, even though it's going to be messy. And Joe Biden said, well, this is a hard choice, but obviously I'm not going to put more Americans in harm's way. Let's move forward with the withdrawal. And then we did. It was never going to be perfect. Joe Biden was just given a really bad hand.
We were already leaving. We could have left with no Americans dying. We were leaving while Trump was in office.
Yeah, exactly. Except the deal that we signed to leave was as awful. It was even the Inspector General of the United States wrote a report about our time in Afghanistan, like over 100 pages from start to finish. And part of what he addressed was the withdrawal. And he, the Inspector General, who's nonpartisan, not Democrat, Republican, blamed the Doha Accords for one of the reasons as to why the exit was so messy, because Joe Biden was given a really, really bad hand. So if you are put in a bad situation and you make like the best of a bad situation, you can't be blamed because the bad situation was bad from the beginning.
It's still, if they would have kept doing what they were doing, slowly withdrawing, and they didn't have to leave.
Joe Biden followed Trump's plan.
Taken their stuff. At the least, they could have taken all the equipment out.
We did. Joe Biden followed Donald Trump's plan, and we didn't leave American equipment behind.
That is honestly, respectfully, bullshit. There was tons of
not. You can
military equipment.
Look it up. Look it up. Did America leave any American equipment behind in Afghanistan? Look up, and there's a great CNN article on this that quotes a bunch of Department of Defense officials.
Oh, CNN, yeah, that's great.
It's not because it's CNN. It quotes Department of Defense officials.
Left there too. We left so much crap there. Everyone here knows it.
Really?
CNN themselves said that there was billions of dollars.
No. American equipment was not left behind. Afghanistan-owned military equipment was there. We didn't take that because it's not our equipment.
Yeah, what was our equipment?
It was not. No, if they own it, we do not own it. We cannot take it back with us. If they own the equipment, it's not ours to take. So we didn't take it. But the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Mark Milley, who was appointed by Donald Trump, testified in front of Congress under oath that we didn't leave American equipment behind. I can show you the clip if you want me to. You want to show you that?
We left so much equipment.
According to who? According to who? According to
I'm not sure. I have to actually look. I don't know specific names, but we have left that.
Really? Because the Department of Defense, the Pentagon, and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff all agrees with me. Mm-hmm. You want me to give you a quote here? Quote, a Defense Department spokesperson, quote, often $7 billion figures thrown around, that we left $7 billion equipment behind. Quote, the $7.12 billion figure cited in the department's recent report to Congress corresponds to ANDSF equipment. And hold on, why is there an ad? Hold on, sorry, the ad. ANDSF stands for Afghan National Defense and Security Forces. So it's their equipment. ANDSF equipment and not U.S. military equipment used by our forces. This Defense Department spokesperson said in a statement, quote, nearly all equipment used by U.S. military forces in Afghanistan was either retrograded or destroyed prior to our withdrawal and is not part of the $7.12 billion figure cited in our report.
By destroyed, they smashed the windshield, took a little bit of the...
No. No.
They did not actually destroy any of the vehicles or anything.
They did destroy all the vehicles.
Barely. They smashed the windshield, smashed up. Most of that stuff was fixed within a week. They fixed most of that stuff. There's footage from it that you can actually see.
No, they didn't just smash windows and call it destroyed. They like actually destroyed it. When they talk about destroying equipment, they're talking about like with a car, like permanently disabling it or genuinely like blowing it up or destroying it in some capacity, right?
They didn't blow up too much stuff. There's literally footage of them. They
destroyed anything that they didn't bring behind that was American equipment.
There's literally footage of them trying to fly the Black Hawk helicopters we've left to there.
Any equipment that you see in videos being used by the Taliban is not American equipment. I don't know how many times I have to say this. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff appointed by Trump said that we didn't leave equipment behind. The Department of Defense said we did not leave equipment behind. The Pentagon said we did not leave equipment behind. All of these three major sources, one of which was appointed by Donald Trump, is saying the opposite of what you're saying. So if you see a video of somebody with like a Taliban member using American equipment, then that has nothing to do with American equipment that we left behind. It might be equipment that the Afghan army had, and then they fell because they collapsed, and then the Taliban took over that weaponry, but it was not because the United States left anything behind.
All right. Well, I think we're pretty much done here.
All right.
Thanks.
Really appreciate it.
Thanks for being kind, man.
Yeah, man. All right. Have a great night, right?
Yeah, but could I ask for you guys to put Nate Dogg in?
Who?
Nate Dogg. He wants to join the live.
I mean, if it happens, it happens.
Thank you, guys.
All right, bye.
All right, man. What's up, man?
Connor, thank you for the $1. I appreciate that. Megan, thank you for the $5. And Frank, thank you for the $30 on Cash App, my man. It's W Frank in the chat. That's crazy. Thank you, Frank. I appreciate you so much, my man. Carrie, thank you for the $5 saying I learned so much from your live Harris Walls 2024. Hell yeah. And Ashton, thank you for the $5 saying what would you do to educate... Ashton, thank you for $5. Educating and discussing respectfully. I'm moving to France in 2 weeks to get my MA in international relations and work in diplomacy and foreign service. I wish more people were this informed. Please get your mail-in ballot in France. You can do that. Please.
You know, I learned when I was at this conference thing that
dude, nobody cares, bro. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. You have a hat on. You have a hat on. You're happy.
I learned that there actually is like we could literally like single-handedly change the election if we had overseas Americans be more likely to mail in ballots because they never do. Shay, thank you so much for the $1 on Cash App. I appreciate your kind heart. I appreciate you. You're incredible. And Olive, $10 on Venmo. Thank you so much, Olive. You're very kind. I can feel your passion for women's rights. Thank you. Thank you, Olive, for being in the
Chris has no passion.
It means a lot. Oh my God. We're about to talk to like top 5. I did. Oh my God.
Hey, how old are you, bro? How old are you, dude?
Harry.
How old are you?
18, big dog.
No,
what year were you born?
No.
2005.
No shot.
Yeah. All right, why do you have the Confederate flag as your profile picture?
We're not getting into that, Mr. Harry.
No, we are. I'm asking you.
Nope,
why do you have it?
I ask you questions. I see
5 seconds. 5, 4. Yeah, either you answer in 5 seconds or I'm kicking you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The reason why it's a Confederate flag is because I grew up in the South for my whole life and.
Yeah.
Had to make the right decision.
I grew up in the South for my whole life too. I'm just not a fucking.
Yeah, I had to make the right decision there. Had to make the right decision.
Yeah, I grew up in the South my whole life too, but I think the Confederate flag is a fucking disgrace. So
yeah, we don't.
That's not a very good reason. Go on.
Had to make the right decision. Hey, buddy. Hey, whoever that guy was, Jake, I guess his name. Don't come back to the live, okay? Thank you. Don't come back here. If you ever come back here, I will. There's a room under the Pentagon waiting for you.
That's right.
It's 500 feet.
That's right. Harry and I go there sometimes with Hillary and Barack. We're all. I don't have to get into what goes on there. Right? Don't worry about
it. Venmo Cash App in the link in bio if you want to support the live. Make sure to drop a follow if you haven't already. My Venmo Cash App's in the link in the bio. Chris is his TikTok username for Venmo Cash App, same as. And follow right there if you haven't already. We do these lives all the time. And follow Chris. And, great question in the chat. Chris, why are you back?
Wow.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, hello. Are you MAGA?
Hey, how you doing? Yeah, all the way.
How old are you?
Me, I'm 23.
All right, why are you MAGA?
Well, from the beginning, when like how that previous guy mentioned, when the first move in Biden office was when we pulled out of Kabul, right? The equipment behind, you're right, it was all destroyed. They didn't know how to use it anyways, so the maintenance on it, they couldn't been done. But that showed weakness the way we did it, right? I think, in my opinion, we showed weakness. Everything started sparking up once that started, once that was done.
Are you saying that things sparking up was caused by the withdrawal of Afghanistan?
Well, I think that Putin saw that as a weakness, the way that we didn't do anything about the 13 servicemen that died that day.
Wait, what do you mean we didn't do anything about it?
We didn't do anything
still
about
intelligence
it.
on the ground there.
We just let that get brushed under the carpet like that.
What? Wait. What do you mean? What are you suggesting we should have done?
I think we should have. Well,
the people who did it blew themselves up.
Like
what do we do in retaliation? Thank you, Dad, for the subscription.
That whole thing, we had to deal with, like, we didn't. So we pressed the deal with the Taliban that if they did anything with the Americans, we would have done something with them. Like 20 years of work, that was all freaking blown out of the water. Like 20 years of waste.
Oh yeah, that's why, like, a lot of this is, like, again, you're talking about showing weakness, and we have, like, the people of Afghanistan, the people who helped us on the ground, the Afghanistan government at the time, we're all very appreciative of them. Like, talking for, like, the United States government, like, I don't know what the suggestion is for retaliation. Obviously, we don't get along with the Taliban. The Trump signed an agreement with the Taliban, about withdrawing from Afghanistan. It didn't go our way. But again, in terms of showing weakness, this is just an issue that, like you just point out, it's a failure of going back 20 years. We walked into Afghanistan without a clear plan. We tried to democracy build, and from the very beginning, clearly the government we set up was corrupt and broken and was taken over within 12 hours, which really sucks.
Well, to be honest, I don't agree why we went there in the first place. Like, that was all about money, right? From the beginning, it was all about oil.
It was a little no. I certainly agree that walking into the Middle East was a bad idea, but no, we didn't gain.
It was mainly
not about
oil.
money. We didn't gain any oil. We didn't gain any oil from walking into Afghanistan. There's probably a bunch of other reasons why we decided to do that
We were extracting oil there to sell. Other countries.
We didn't just walk in and put some oil refineries on the shore, buddy.
We didn't walk away from, like, Afghanistan or Iraq with, like, oil. That didn't happen. Again, I'm agreeing that, like, it was a mess from the beginning. I mean, the Bush administration seemed to be determined. There was not sufficient evidence that there was WMDs, and the Bush administration seemed to walk in anyway. And a lot of innocent people died, and it was really bad, and we spent a lot of money. And I'm agreeing that it was
bad time of history.
I'm agreeing it was horrible, but I don't really think it was for.
Well, I think also the Ukraine and Russia sparked up because there was weakness shown in the government of the United States. That Trump made, like, he had good relationship with those countries. My opinion, that he had good relationships. I firmly believe that these things wouldn't have happened with Trump being in it.
So you're saying that Joe Biden's responsible for Russia's invasion of Ukraine?
I don't think he's. You can say that, I guess, like, responsible, but it's not like we can't predict the future, right? Like, but. I can't put all the responsibility against Biden, but I strongly believe that it wouldn't have happened with Trump having a deal with Russia. Like
don't you think that there's, like, absolutely no connection there at all? Because, like, I don't know why us withdrawing from Afghanistan and a withdrawal not going 100% smoothly means that Russia suddenly is emboldened to invade a country and they think that nothing's going to happen. Like, I think that's what's the connection there?
The crazy part is that we're supporting the Ukraine, So,
yeah, as we always have.
And I also want to point out quickly, I'm going to let you speak, Terry, but I want to point out quickly, like, again, there's most handpicked Trump officials who worked around defense who would just not agree with you at all. You know, let's read some quotes here. The hand-selected Defense Secretary James Mattis said, "quote He's the first president in my lifetime who does not try to unite the American people. We must reject and hold accountable those in office who make a mockery of our Constitution." The former Navy Secretary Richard Spencer said that that Trump, quote, has no understanding of what it means to be in the military, to fight ethically, or to be governed by a uniform set of rules or practices. John Bolton, who is not a Democrat by any means, I'm not even sure if he's going to vote for Harris. He traveled with Trump at G7. Yeah, he's not. He traveled with Trump at G7 meetings. Said it for the first time in his life with a president, he was scared to let Trump alone in a room with adversaries like Putin because he felt like he would accidentally give up classified information. He also said at one point, quote, "I believe that foreign leaders think he's a laughing fool." Former hand-selected Chief of Staff John Kelly said, let's see, I'm reading a couple quotes here. Basically, he agreed with Mattis about Trump's handling of demonstrations, and also, you know, said some more scale. I think he said something about, you know, I would never vote for a man who called himself above the Constitution. Former Homeland Security Tom Bossart said he was deeply, deeply disturbed about Trump, and said that he was a, quote, utter disgrace over January 6th. Reportedly, James Mattis also said that Trump had the understanding of a 5th or 6th grader. You have multiple military advisors who have said that during his daily military briefings, you'd have to show him more pictures than words. And again, the reason everyone voted for this guy was because he was a reality TV star who wasn't in politics. So I have no idea why you would think that he would have any understanding of foreign policy, considering the whole reason people voted for him was because he had no understanding of foreign policy.
Those opinions you said, though, that's easy to say about any president like Biden.
But it's not, because that's never happened. And those aren't opinions. No, those are some of the most respected people in politics, in conservative politics, who Trump hand-selected. That has never happened.
Politics, not.
You understand, bro. That has never happened. First of all, that's never happened in American history. There's never been a president who has had this many, for really any first administration people come out and say such scathing words. But are you telling me right now that the people Trump handpicked, the smartest defense secretaries in the world who work next to him in the White House every day and took a blowtorch to their career, they have no chance in Republican politics anymore because of this? You're suggesting they're all just lying about Trump's competence?
What do they say about Biden too, though?
Nothing. They actually. So number one, again, this is why I said it's the first time in American history, because there hasn't been advisors who have come out and said Biden has no understanding. There hasn't been advisors who say Biden is incompetent.
So Biden's getting no judgment with everything that's going on.
Yeah. So Rigger, this is really simple, buddy. This is like such simple logic. Joe Biden has been a foreign policy expert for decades. He literally he got into the Senate at 29. It's pretty expected that he's going to know what the fuck is going on. Of course, Donald Trump's going to be a fucking moron. He's never worked in politics. He was a reality TV star.
Okay, reality TV star. That's a little bit like he just got involved with that. He's good at, like, he's a business.
So yes or no? Are all the quotes I just read are those people just lying?
It's an opinion. It's an opinion.
And you right here, this guy, their opinion is meaningless.
I think that it's not. Look, I don't belittles anybody's opinions, right? Everybody can have their opinion. I'm sure there's also plenty of opinions on Biden, but
that is just an astonishing level. That is an astonishing level of ignorance to take. I just took Trump's handpicked chief of staffs and the highest people in his military who say that he's a fucking moron, a threat to democracy, and has no competence at all. And now they have no ability for a job and they're getting death threats. And your opinion of these people who are incredibly qualified is, everyone has an opinion. No, I have an opinion. That's an incredible level of ignorance, man. I just don't know what else to say.
Well, I think Trump is good at making deals. Like these things. They have not happened.
What deals?
With these countries, these relationships with the countries,
Can you name me a couple of deals that Donald Trump made that's good?
With Russia, that nothing was popping off with that. It wouldn't have happened. Like I guess I can't predict the future, right? Like I can't predict the future.
Tess, thank you for all the support.
You're just like, can't you like concede that you're basing this entire view off of literally no evidence? The idea that this would not have happened under Donald Trump. Like, are you that then do you hold the same logic that like FDR is responsible for World War II or Woodrow Wilson are responsible for World War I because it happened under them?
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. You're right.
So why would Joe Biden be responsible for Russia invading Ukraine when none of our military power changed? We still invested a bunch in our military. We're still stood by our allies.
I have this. So supporting Ukraine, I think that's almost like letting that happen instead of putting your foot down and saying, no, this is going to be done, because we have the power to do that. We have the strongest military.
You're right. We could beat Russia in a war, but we don't want to get in a war.
No, we don't have to get in the war, because both sides are smart enough that, okay, if a war sparks up, there's gonna be that nukes going around. And us supporting, giving millions and millions, billions of dollars, right, to Ukraine, they're pretty much using, like, we're using them to fight a war, like, fight a war.
Can I ask 2 questions just quickly? What's when you say we're giving them billions of dollars, like, what does that money include? Like, what is that? Just money? Just cash?
Weapons. It's weapons.
Yeah, weapons. Okay. And you say, like, we should have just put our foot down, but you don't want to go to a direct war. So, like, what does that mean, putting our foot down?
I guess not threatening. Yeah, I guess pretty much threatening Russia, because we have the power to do that. Like, they're smart enough. They're smart enough. No, it sounds ballsy though, right? It sounds ballsy. It's hard decisions to make, and it's hard, like, deals to make, right? But it's like being strong with your decision and not letting, okay, look, if you keep going with this, this is gonna, we cut the pipelines to this, or like do things that will, okay,
so we did those things.
If any countries has relations to Russia, or if
we did those things. Russia, those things are not going to stop Putin, though. Like, you have to remember, we're not dealing with a rational person. We're dealing with, like, a murderous lunatic dictator whose only goal is to keep himself in power and expand the power of his country that he's leading, right? That's Putin's goal. So we have sanctions on him. We've expanded sanctions. We've, like, seized Russian assets and these, like, huge yachts that these Russian billionaires own around the world. Like, a bunch of companies have withdrawn their operations from Russia, like huge, like name brand McDonald's, Starbucks, stuff like that. Russia's, like, lost hundreds of thousands of men and civilians in this war, and they don't care. Like, you have to remember, this is Putin. He's not a logical person. So we could say, hey, we're going to sanction the shit out of your economy, and you're gonna crash, and your currency, the ruble, is going to be on its last legs. Putin doesn't care.
So he does care. At the end of the day, he does care about the country, though. When we have the power to do that, we have.
Why do you think? Wait, so are you suggesting right now that this entire war could be over if we just threatened Russia a little harder?
I think it's more of like the man behind it, the way, like, Trump was good to make deals with people. Like,
it's just like, you're not saying really anything of substance. Like, I'm gonna have to disagree, because, again, like, and I'm not trying to like be a dick, but, like, it's, again, we're talking about, like, the brightest minds in the West trying to achieve, like, some of the greatest logistical feats in modern history, and it's not a hyperbole. And, like, in getting the entire West aligned, sending all the tanks and weaponry to Ukraine, and you have to ship it and get it on the ground. And you're dealing with some of the most experienced people. It cannot be as simple as just, oh, threaten them a little harder and this could be done. And then you say, well, Trump could get a deal done. But again, like, we're just, there's no substance there, Tess. I appreciate you again. Like, what does that mean? Like, why do we think that Trump, compared to all these people, just has a magic wand? Like, why do you think he could just call Putin and it just be done?
He's just that's what he does for a living. He makes hard decisions. Like, he
went bankrupt 6 times when he was in the private sector. So clearly he's not that good at it. And he's committed a bunch of business fraud that he's had to pay, like, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars for.
Those business frauds too, though, it's just a lot of tax breaks. So, like, people, like, there's plenty of other people that do that have, like, real estate. There's a lot of tax cuts. Like for example, Trump, he filed bankruptcy, right? He filed bankruptcy when he was building I think it was like a casino I think in Vegas, right? And he borrowed money, and he couldn't get it done. The construction, he couldn't get it done. He filed bankruptcy. So, and having the company not under his name, it didn't affect him, right? Like, those.
No, I'm aware, but
it's unfortunate to do that.
Again, like, I don't. It's just strange. Like, I think it's almost a spit in the face to the people who, like, work work and have good intentions for this country. Like the Secretary of Defense and like General Milley, who like put their lives on the line to serve this country. They're just quote not good at making deals like Donald Trump, like who just made business deals. Right. Like that's just weird.
I mean, this country is kind of like a business at the end of the day.
No.
So like,
that, by the way, the guy like Trump who says, you know, like we have to run it like a business. He ran up like $7 to $8 trillion of debt in 4 years. I don't know what business is like.
I don't know why is he not? He should have been homeless then, huh?
So what were Trump's good like economic policies? What were good?
He should have been homeless then. He,
what were Trump's good economic policies if he's like a businessman?
Well, everything was just cheaper.
Why? Why? Cause and effect. Why?
All right. So when he filled up the reserves, right? The tank reserves. I don't know if I'm saying it right. The what's it called? The
oil reserves?
No, the gas reserves for like in case like a war breaks out. We have
okay. Emergency reserves.
Shit would like things were just cheaper at the end of the day.
Yeah. So again, like I understand. We can talk about why, but you know,
so much money spent. Also,
no, you're good. Cause and effect, right? So Trump was one of two presidents who lost more jobs than he gained during his presidency. He left the presidency with an unemployment rate of 14%, and that would be partly because of COVID, right? So we have just identified the fact that, you know, the economy is not solely dependent on the president or even legislation, but can also be dependent on other factors. And so I want like some cause and effect. So what policies does Trump have that cause prices to be low?
1 second, I'm just unlocking the door. My roommate was coming. Can you repeat that? I'm sorry, I wasn't.
So what Trump policies did he? What were cause and effect? You say things were lower. I say why. What did Trump do to make things lower? Name a piece of legislation.
Sorry, Jesus Christ. So I think that I have to pull up. I don't have these things memorized. You guys are. Like you guys do.
That's it's okay. I think that like again, I just think it's really important to be able to determine cause and effect. Right now in Maine, the divorce rate correlates almost perfectly over the last 10 years with the consumption of tangerines. Right, we wouldn't go around yelling that tangerines are causing divorce in Maine. So it's and vice versa. I just said, you know, Trump was one of the only presidents to lose more jobs than he gained, and he ran up $8 trillion on the deficit, and he ended his presidency with a 14% unemployment rate. But again, a little bit dishonest to not suggest why some of that happened, which was COVID. Also, we talked about inflation with Biden and the supply chain issues with COVID. A little bit disingenuous to suggest that, you know, it is completely disingenuous to suggest that Biden was the main cause of inflation. So it's just like, if you're going to vote for Trump because of his economics, I feel like maybe doing some research about like what exactly the cause and effect there was, because Biden has passed way more fiscal legislation that's been good for the economy than Trump.
Yeah. I agree. Sorry, I was trying my
No, you're good.
But I mean, I just think that again with the deals, we just need a stronger man behind the scenes there. Like that's pretty much my reasoning.
Well, that's I hear you. I hear you, Rickard. Listen, I'm sure that we can know. You've been respectful up here. I'm sure Harry and I can continue to talk to you as the election comes forward. You're welcome back anytime. We'll probably cycle some people up as it's getting late, man.
Yep, for sure.
All right, man. Be safe.
Thanks, man. Perfect timing. Olivia, thank you for the $5 on Cash App. I appreciate you. Carolyn, thank you for the $1 saying I sent $20 via Venmo. I got you. I'll check it out in a second. Cheryl, thank you for the $1. And Jack, thank you for the $1 as well. I appreciate you. Ashton, thank you for the $5 saying we'll be voting by mail 100%. I hope based on our program, my classmates will be engaged as well, but I'm definitely going to rally everyone. Hell yeah. Let's go. That's amazing. Marina, thank you for the $5 saying you're doing an amazing job. I appreciate you so much. Dana says, I Afghanistan you and Chris.
Bro.
That's fine. Bro. That's fine.
Man.
Carolyn, I don't see. Oh, no. Oh no, I see here, Carolyn for the $20. Yeah, I said,
Farada.
Thank you for standing up for marginalized groups. This is why you are one of my favorite creators. Much love. Yo, shout out Caroline. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. You're amazing. You're wonderful, and you deserve this success. Not like ad-libbing at this point.
That's right. It's the most beautifully said, beautiful thing. Beautiful. Sherry, thanks so much for $5 on Venmo. Great live with Harry. Sherry. Sherry, thanks for being here. I appreciate you so much. Jenna, great to see you, Jenna. To combat Harry's donations, $5 on Venmo. It's okay. We share the love here, Jenna. I appreciate you. It's good to see you. You're the best. By the way, there's a guy with a Steelers profile picture down there, Jordan. He's spamming, calling, saying like, I don't know, like the most crazy shit I've ever heard in my life if he's in the request. Yeah, thank you guys so much for all the support here. You guys, it means a lot. You guys are the best. Stroke that thing.
Oh God, great. I want to go play NCAA.
Oh yeah, no, don't worry, we're doing it.
What's up, Harry?
Jordan, how old are you?
I'm 18.
Were you spamming anything bad in the chat?
No.
Dude, you were literally sitting there spamming for like 20 minutes about all this shit. I kept seeing you. You're 18. I mean, are you plugged into a fucking toaster over here? I can barely hear you, buddy. All right,
bro. Now get the hell out of my live. All right, sounds good. Uber. All right, I'm gonna wrap up the live there. I'm tired.
Yeah, you want to go play some NCAA? We haven't played PlayStation in so long.
Yeah, I'm gonna go destroy Chris in NCAA.
Are you like gonna actually get on like right away?
I'm gonna go get on right away. I'm gonna go play.
Okay,
anyway.
I'll hop on right away. But right quickly, everybody. I want to say I appreciate each and every one of you so much. You guys have been incredible. I'll let Harry talk to you for a minute here. Really quickly, hold on. Give me a second here. Somebody told me, they said, Chris. I'm not gonna be able to do it. I uploaded a new YouTube video. If you guys want to check it out, it's a good one. It's on my YouTube channel, Chris D. Mowry. You should check it out. Also check out Harry's new YouTube video as well. It's in the link in his bio. I'm about to put mine in the link in my bio. You can watch them both. You could watch them both. You could like them both.
Dual screen.
I love you guys. No, truly from the bottom of my heart. Tess, it's so great that you're here. Thank you for all the donations, the Venmos.
What did I say at the beginning of the live?
Double tap the screen. You said I was going to come in here and self promo or something.
No. I just said. What did I say? I say Chris is too predictable. It's. You say, Harry. What do you mean by that? I say, well, that's classified information at this point. But Chris knows what I mean. Look at him down there. Look at that guy down there. Look at him. He's freaking out. Look at him. So he knows exactly what I'm talking. It's too predictable. I say, all right. Goodbye, Chris. Get the hell out of my life.
Thank you guys so much. We'll be live.
All right. Thank you guys so much for coming to the live. I appreciate you. Venmo. Why did I say Venmo? They are in my bio. But I post on every single social media platform. I post on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok. All of those links are in my bio, as Chris was talking about. I posted 2 YouTube videos today. It would mean a lot if you go watch, subscribe, all that good stuff. Of course, drop a follow on TikTok. We do these lives all the time. And of course, follow on Instagram, follow on Twitter. I post on all of these platforms every single day. And tomorrow's a Saturday, right? Yeah, it's Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. If it might be a Saturday for you already on the East Coast, and if it is, happy Saturday. Hope you enjoy your weekend. And if it's not, have a great day tomorrow. Have a fantastic day tomorrow. Relax, sleep in, take it easy, do all of that good stuff. Take care of your body. See some friends, family, loved ones, people you care about. Now, do me a favor. Go raid Parker. Go raid Parker. Go raid Parker. Parker get a job. At Parker get a job. At Parker get a real job. At Parker get GETA letter A real REAL job JOB. Go raid Parker. Go say I sent you. Go give him a huge raid. I need like at least 1,000 people going over there saying hi to Parker for me. Do me a solid and go say hi to Parker. All right, his AI is right there. Parker get a real job. Parker get a real job. Parker get a real job. Everybody go raid. Go spam Harry raid, Harry raid, Harry raid, Harry raid, and all that good stuff. Do me that solid. Yeah, sounds good. All right, everybody. Thank you guys for doing that for me. I appreciate you. And we will talk soon. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you guys so much.